finish him off. He's calling for it. This is it. This is it. Your career's on the line here. Do it. Do it. This place will erupt when he picks him up. He's got him up. Oh, hell yeah. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you. We've got a new heavyweight champion. Climb the ladder, kid. Make yourself famous. I just had an out-of-body experience. What did we just see? What did we just see?
He got him a power slam! He got him in a power slam! He got it! Simmons got it! Simmons has won the match! Simmons is a champion!
I've always maintained that reality is for people who can't face drugs.
Shit is about to get real.
You get to sleep your knee deep. Shit.
Look at the stare of the champion against the challenger.
What?
And now, Straight Talk Society presents Wrestling with Reality.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
It's going to be the biggest battleground in the history of our sport.
The biggest match in pro wrestling history.
The two biggest superstars in our sport in the biggest event the sport has ever seen. The biggest match in the history of our sport.
Trying to run a little scalded dog here. Enough is enough.
That's enough! No! Oh, God, that's enough! Stop it!
Man, listen. Marriage tougher than a $2 steak.
Who is your daddy? Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Slam! Toe slam! Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Lucifer's lips are the biggest size in the WWE! Somebody stop this! Somebody knock him down, man! Enough's enough!
What?
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
It's getting real. Woo!
WWE Dynamite.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time. Let's rock.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
So to escape from reality?
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
I am reality.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
No, it's live, pal.
Let the slaughter begin!
It is now time for
With reality.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Junior, look at this.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
number one to be the man, baby. You have to beat the man. Heavyweight champion of the world. The time is now. Reality has become the present, and the final lesson of the pain game has begun.
Have you ever heard a joke like that in your life?
You are gonna wrestle my ass for the world title. You will have to kill me to keep me from killing you. Woo!
The 90s have been referred to as the reckoning with truth. In the 80s, everything was clouded. Nobody ever told the truth. In the 90s, the way to go is flat out. Tell no lies. That's the way we're gonna do it. When you hear something from our lips, truth it may be, and as much as it may hurt, you can count on it being exactly the way that it is.
We want the gold, sucker! Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga!
Oh, what is up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host, Trevor, and we are back with another episode of Wrestling with Reality. Sorry to disappoint you guys today, but I will not be turning my camera on because my hair is not cut and my beard is unkempt. And the last thing I'll do is be on these airways looking a mess. Plus, I don't have any clothes on right now, so yeah. But I am not alone. I am joined by the political prophet amongst men, MD, and producer extraordinaire Venkat in the building. What's up, fellas?
Peace, what's happening? What's going on?
You must be
Man, I
confused,
can't
farm
call
boy.
Is Venkat there? Oh, he's starting with the bullshit already, huh?
What's going on? We in the house.
All
The
right,
house burning down because of Trump, but we in the house.
I'm letting everybody know off the bat tonight's gonna be not gonna be a long one, but it's definitely gonna be a good one because I'm tired. I am tired. What the hell is this telling me to connect? Oh no, tell your thing. Don't connect to my computer.
All right, that's Elon Musk doing that to you.
No, my daughter. So real quick before we get started, I do want to let everybody know that I started a new some type of car chronicles. I'm not probably won't be doing it every morning, but I am going to do it a few mornings a week, and it's called business. Yeah.
Hey, Trevor, you sound like you're doing a PowerPoint presentation, man.
What is it called?
You sound like you're doing a PowerPoint presentation.
It's called
No,
pause.
yeah, there you
And
go. I
relax.
think your mic was reconnected.
Yeah, pause and relax. Oh, you guys can't hear me?
We can hear you now.
Oh yeah, because her headphones was trying to connect to my computer. Yeah, but I did start a new show this in the mornings called Pause and Relax. If you feel inclined to check it out. I did 2 episodes, one today and one yesterday, about 6:30 this morning. And it's just kind of like a motivation to men. Like I said, I won't be doing it every morning just because my schedule won't allow it, but I will be doing it a couple of days throughout the week. I have already been getting some really good feedback on it, especially one from today. So, nevertheless, though, we do have a show to get to tonight. But before we get started, what's up with y'all? Seemed like it's been a while, and nobody was going to tell me that I had the show scheduled for tomorrow.
I wasn't even paying attention, man. I just went on and said it was 6:30, so I said, okay, let me. And as soon as I tuned in, the notification came up and you was live. Then I went back and saw the message in WhatsApp.
I went to get my presentation and everything in the studio, and I'm like, well, why isn't it? Because it'll give you like a 5-minute countdown. I'm like, why isn't it giving me the countdown? And then I looked and it said February 20th. I'm like, oh man, I didn't even realize I had it set for damn. So that means the show that I got scheduled for tomorrow. I wonder what day I put that on. Yeah, I'm all over the place. I am all over the place, man. Y'all make sure and check out Tapest Politics from last night. I am all over the place, man. But before we get into the fired part of this show, we do have a story, an interesting article that I just saw. And especially with you two guys being from Tapest Politics, I definitely want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Let me go ahead and pull it up though. Linda McMahon she is currently having her what do you call it? Her hearing, her confirmation.
Yeah, confirmation hearing. Yeah.
Yeah, so she is currently having her confirmation hearing. I didn't even realize that was her when I saw the picture.
Yeah. I told you, man. Hell, she looked down there younger than Steph.
Yeah.
Look at Steph in the background looking crazy.
Yeah, Stephanie and Triple H is in the background, which is very interesting. You don't see Vince McMahon at all.
Yeah, that's not happening. You might well kill that. That ain't happening. Even in Trump world, that won't happen.
So you don't think why? Because they're separated? Because I don't think they're officially divorced yet, are they?
No, I don't believe so. From the stories that I saw, that she's the one that's actually living like in the McMahon mansion, and Vince is living like in a condo in Hartford somewhere. So they separated. I don't believe that they divorced or anything. I just don't think with, you know, and again, which is kind of crazy because they don't give a damn about any scandal or anything like that. You know, but I don't believe that it's feasible to have Vince there. I don't know what they will be able to get out of it. Hell, if that was the case, Vince will have a position too.
Shout out to Naruban in the building. So this story came from the Hill. I'd never heard of this website, but the headline was very interesting. It's a website called thehill.com. I'm pretty sure you heard of it. Y'all heard of it.
Yeah, the Hill, yeah.
Okay, but they're a reputable site, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so good, because last thing I want to be is bearing false news over here. So the headline was NAACP's legal defense fund calls on Congress to reject McMahon's education department, and this came out yesterday. So the NAACP Legal Defense Fund (LDF) is urging the Senate to reject Linda McMahon as education secretary under the Trump administration, citing her troubling words, actions, and limited experience as a threat to over 50 million students. In a letter to senators, the LDF warned that McMahon would undermine public school funding and civil rights protections, particularly for Black, LGBTQ, low income, and disabled students. The organization, known for its role in the landmark Brown versus Board of Education case, previously called for Trump to withdraw her nomination. Didn't know that. Arguing her appointment would dismantle programs crucial to Black communities. LDF President Janai Nelson criticized McMahon's support for reduced federal oversight, her ties to conservative America First Policy Institute, which opposes DEI efforts, and recent federal education cuts. During her confirmation hearing, McMahon pledged to protect Title I funding, Pell Grants, and public service loan forgiveness, but was uncertain about how Trump's executive order against DEI programs would impact schools. While she confirmed MLK Day celebrations would remain, she was unsure about African American history classes. Despite Republican support, the LDF maintains that rejecting McMahon is in the nation's best interest. Simply put, our students deserve better. America deserves better, Nelson stated. Venkat, what do you got to say about that?
I think Linda McMahon, first of all, she looks horrible. Second of all, she's failed twice trying to get into politics. Failed miserably. And then third of all, her bitch ass is talking about getting rid of Black History Month or anything that has to do with Black. Boy, they just love to try to rewrite and erase Black memory and Black history in general. So she needs to go somewhere. She ain't got no ideas. She's just trying to do this because she's connected with the people that are in politics at the moment, and she has money. That's not a reason for her to even be there. So her monkey ass need to go somewhere because she's just a walking failure. And goddamn, she looks horrible as well. Can't stress that enough.
So Naruban says she looks better than Charlotte. Yeah, she does. But so hold on. As I don't disagree,
I agree with that.
Yeah. You don't agree with that?
I said, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, yeah, Charlotte looks better.
She's like a bingo hall cougar. That's what Charlotte looks like.
you know what she looks. You know what she looks like. She looks like she's in a casket. You know when they're in the casket and they pull the cheeks back and they that she look that's why when I saw it, I was
the
like,
embalming fluid tighten you up.
Yeah. If you see how filled in her face is, I never seen her look like that. She looked like she ready to have a prayer line and ask you for 100 people to stand with $1,000. So well, MD, before I ask my question, what do you think about this? Because this just came out.
I didn't know that. I did watch her confirmation hearing last week, and it was troubling to say the least. She was stumbling and bumbling on a lot of questions. and she kept reverting back to, I have to see what the agenda is from the administration. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, you should like know what the agenda is already. like how do you not know? But she does know. She just don't want to say what it is. The most damning thing that she said in that confirmation hearing was that she believed that when it came to special education or special needs children, it doesn't need to be part of the Department of Education, but it needs to be part of Health and Human Services. I said, what? So, so you telling me that special needs children don't even belong in any type of uh, apparatus as it pertains to education? That's basically what you said. That was alarming. That's like Hitler. If something wrong with you, you need to be euthanized. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, how could you
That's
say something like that? So
that's the
I feel
300
that's
mentality.
crazy.
Well, you're not allowed in the Israelite camp if you have a defect.
Like, well, I guess
So
Leonard
go
Man
ahead,
Shalom.
go ahead, Venkat. You were saying about the movie 300? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
if you see at the beginning of the movie,
yeah.
anybody that has a birth defect gets thrown over the cliff. This is a 300 type mentality. My God. Um, I don't know, man. Stephanie McMahon, I can't believe we're here again. Like, how many times she's going to try to run? It just doesn't make sense. And you're doing this when your ex-husband is in all this turmoil.
Exactly.
Why would you even go there? And WWE just got themselves away from Vince McMahon, and now you're trying to shed more light, because when you run for politics, all your dirty laundry comes out.
Oh yeah.
So I just don't understand the mindset. This is not about providing service to the American people. This is about ego and pride and all the things that is egotistical and narcissistic. And she's going to fail again.
So this is my biggest problem. Which I don't disagree with anything you guys said. I didn't even look at the WWE, what that's going to do, because Janelle Grant just did the amendment to the lawsuit. So now they're opening up more things. And let's not forget that a judge ruled about a month or so ago that they're going to allow the 35 or whatever defendants it was to do the suit against the Mel Phillips. And that they named Vince and Linda as as conspirators in that. So now you got that. But let me ask you this: didn't Trump already know all this stuff ahead of time?
Of course.
So
Of course.
why would he appoint this? We would agree that this is probably one of the most important jobs in the administration, correct? Because you're overseeing education, which is bringing up the next generation of hopefully productive citizens. Why would you appoint someone that has so much filth attached to them?
But look at all his other picks. They
Yeah,
almost
exactly.
RFK, friggin' Beef Seth, whatever the hell his name is. I forgot his name now. Yeah, I mean, all these guys have baggage out the ass. They
Right.
all have
And
some.
she's not overseeing the direction of the Department of Education. She's actually overseeing the destruction of the department, because it won't be a Department of Education no more. So there's that. She's just getting put in a position to facilitate its undoing. That's
So
just a fact.
basically, this is just a favor to his buddy Vince McMahon.
Exactly.
But why though? Him and Linda aren't together.
Hey, well, I mean, I'm sure he has some sort of relationship with the family in general. So,
Man, and it's a terrible look to see Triple H back there. I'm a
Oh yeah, it's bad. It's bad. He's looking like he want to he want to spray out his water.
Yeah, I'm gonna flame him up later on something else, but it's really bad seeing him there knowing you want to support your mother-in-law, do the shit behind closed doors, but knowing everything that's attached to them right now, whenever you because it's funny, whenever you ask him a question about Vince, he got no answer for you. But you right there with Linda, like is all when Linda actually has a open case against her in essay of children.
Right.
This is fucking crazy. Like, this is crazy.
I don't know what they're thinking with this.
Oh my god. I can't. So do you think anything's gonna come of this?
What you mean as far as her getting confirmed?
Yeah, well, because I don't know how long is the confirmation. This should have been going on for a week or so, right?
Yeah, I mean, it takes a couple of weeks.
She'll be confirmed, bro. She'll be confirmed, just like everybody else.
How long does it normally take?
About a couple of weeks. They do the confirmation hearing 1 week, and then the next week they'll motion to vote on if they're gonna confirm or not. So it'll probably be sometime, probably beginning of the next week, if not the end of this week.
So a part that you brought up, MD, because you actually watched the confirmation, and you said that how she was the special needs kids, they basically want to put them in a different category all to themselves. Seem like does it seem like they're trying to not even have them in school? Like, does that
Yeah. What else would be the logical explanation? So the way it happens is Congress earmarks certain funding for special education, and they appropriate it to the Department of Education, and then the Department of Education sends that money out to the states, and it's specifically for special education. Special education programs in every public school is federally funded. She wants to get rid of that. And send it to Health and Human Services. Health and Human Services ain't got nothing to do with education. So she's basically saying that it's not up to the government, the federal government, to facilitate any type of education for special needs kids. That's basically what she said. That's diabolical.
So she's basically trying to pass them off to be babysat versus having
exactly
of learning.
That's exactly what it is.
Venkat, what's your thoughts on that? Because that's bullshit. I mean, we've all gone to school where there's classes with a bunch of special needs kids. Every time I go to my daughter's school, they always bring the special needs kids class in, and every time I look at them, I'm just like, damn, my heart hurts for them. First of all, but second of all, I applaud the teacher and the teacher's assistant that has to deal with them, because it's not easy dealing with special needs kids, and every case is different. And now you're basically telling them, like Venkat said, hey, let's just throw them over, let's kick them into the pit. Don't even give them a chance. Hell, let's kick them in the pit when they come out. There's blood tests to determine what's going to happen to them. So let's just kick them in the pit now. Yeah, this is ridiculous, man. Venkat, what you think about that?
It's just ironic how a person that looked like a special needs adult is trying to give a hard time to kids that are just trying to find their way in the world with some adversity being put on them. They didn't choose this life. They didn't choose this situation. So, I mean, anybody coming up with any type of deficiency like that, they shouldn't be shamed. They shouldn't be held back. They should be trying to be uplifted. They should be trying to help make the situation better than what it is. But clearly that is not her position. Go figure. But she's a trash bag human, really. If there wasn't so many ducks, I mean, she would be all up in there. But there's so many ducks out there.
Shout out to Mike in the building. Mike says diabolical plus par for the course equals MAGA. Nerubin says this is a larger problem of rich people disrupting systems to concentrate power and wealth in their own hands. The McMahon family is part of that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Venkat was holding that joke, and you could tell he was like, yes. It's like the slow clap guy. You finally get the chance to use a slow clap, and then you just like, yeah. This is okay. I often joke a lot of times. I joke a lot of times about about Trump and everything, but do you guys think that they're really trying to do like how's the right way to say this?
A takeover, a coup?
No, you always hear the rumors that they want to cut X amount of people off of the out of the population. You think this is like the beginning of that? Like they want to cut the population down by a certain amount.
Well, I think they don't want to cut the population down. They want to cut the population of the people that ain't like them down. They were trying to increase. They literally came out and said how there's not enough white babies, not enough white people having babies and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a Jesse Lee Peterson talking point.
Exactly. That's one of the coon. That's the coon of the century right there. That nigga. Sheesh. Yeah.
So did you guys watch? I know I sent it to MD. I think I just put it in the group. I put a video from the Twilight Zone in the group. I forget the name. I forget the name of it. It was called like The Test or something like that. It literally was maybe 10 minutes, but it was this kid that it was coming up on like his 11th birthday, and it was time to take the national test. And this kid was smart, bro. Like he was just the smartest kid. And his parents, were telling him they were gonna buy him like a new computer and stuff like that. They were in this, what do you call it, like this dystopian future. And so the day comes to do the test, and they have all these kids in the testing facility, and they're like, "Oh, just be calm, nothing's wrong." They're injecting the kids with truth serum and everything like that, so they can't tell a lie on the test. And when I first watched it, I'm like, okay, this is weird. But then once I saw what was going on, I'm like, oh, so they tell you to leave your kid, and they'll call you with the results. So the parents, I was wondering, why the hell were the parents so nervous the entire show? It's a 10-minute movie, 10-minute Twilight Zone episode, but the parents were just so jittery and nervous the entire time. So they're standing by the phone, and they get the phone call, and they were like, is this Mr. and Mrs. such and so? They like, yeah. And they're like, we're pleased. We regret to inform you that your son Dewey scored too high on the government test. How would you like his remains? I'm like, oh snap. So they wanted to keep them. They give you this test not to see how smart you are, to be like, okay, you're going to be a attribute to society. They don't want you to be too smart, and if you are, then they get rid of you, and they do it from you're 11 years old. Man, when I put it in a group. I got to find it again so y'all can watch it. It's 11 minutes. But it was crazy, and the more I see stuff like this, I'm just like, man, we're going into some weird shit we're getting ready to go into, and they're starting at schools, because
definitely
the most impressionable people are the young people right now. If you could get them from there young, then you got a bunch of slaves, for the rest of their existence. That's crazy. It's, oh man. Let me see.
That's the whole point of all this, by the way, is if they could get you with less options in life, if they could get you with less opportunity, you will have to take whatever measly crumbs is offered, as far as the job pay, as far as the atmosphere and just the things you're willing to accept. You're willing to do anything just to get to the next day and struggle by. They want you in that complete struggle environment in your life, so that you can't stand up and rebel against what is being given. That's what this is all about. Because everybody know that, especially with the last few years, they had money they could have poured into some of these states, especially these red states that are filled with poverty. The money was there the whole time, and it never was used. And then a war happened, and then another war happened, and the money magically went to those wars. So they could go somewhere with that crap. Kick rocks. They have the money to do it. Elon Musk, bitch ass, he's sitting on money right now. He could stop poverty right now and have millions of money left over. Yeah, this is by design. This whole thing is by design. They're keeping you in this situation by design. This is not a mistake. This is not a whatever. This is how it was designed for things to be. This capitalism can't work if you don't have people on the short end of the stick.
Oh, I was letting you cook. Go ahead. Mike,
No,
let
that's
me read
that's just want to say that. Just want to
this
say.
comment from Mike real quick. Mike says, "What you guys don't get is they already do this to their kids. That's why you can't show a white kid white privilege. That's why you can't show a white kid white privilege. They can't see that life isn't fair for us. All they know is niggers marching again." So yeah, MD, you got anything to put a bow on this?
I mean, yeah, I agree somewhat with
Uh-oh.
what everything
Here we go.
Van Cat said. No, I'm not gonna do that. This ain't the time nor the place.
No,
I'm
you
not
go.
gonna
Hey,
do it.
listen, we already 50% through the show. So if you're gonna do it, just go ahead and do it.
No. I will say I agree with Van Cat in the aspect of we view this world through the lens of the haves and have not. And it's unfortunate. I think that the way we view government spending versus or let me say vis-a-vis taxpayer dollars is wrong. I think that we put too much of an onus on what Van Cat would call the downplays of capitalism and not enough on what the government does to support the economic growth of the country. I'll be discussing all of this come next week with one of the views how we view inflation. It's wrong. When we start viewing money from a governmental aspect as a I guess you would say an overflow of what the economic growth is of all of us. We contribute to all of this stuff. You can't look at it from a basis of class. That's not the issue. The issue is how is money being spent versus how much money is being taken into the government. We put so much focus on capitalism and what other people have and what we don't got. It's argumentable. I'm not saying it's not, but when it comes to the economics of the country, that's not the focus. I just leave it at that. I don't want to get too deep.
Man, MD, I'm telling you, you watch how fast we're gonna go into the next thing. If you want to do it, you better do it. Naruban says
No, it's fine. Yeah, it's
this is
fine.
not capitalism. These are
But
criminals robbing from the American public.
I 100% agree with Naru. 100% agree.
So MD, you being an individualist though, this stuff shouldn't really bother you though, because you'd be like, well, you have the right to do whatever you want to do, correct?
I mean, correct. But when we talk about capitalism on its face is individualism. When you start earmarking certain positions of finance to specialized groups and monopolies and conglomerates, it's not individualism anymore. It's crony capitalism. It's a reverse Robin Hood tactic. That ain't capitalism. That ain't individualism. So let's get back to individualism. I agree with what Naruban said. If it was real capitalism, we wouldn't know what a name brand is, if that makes any sense.
Yep,
Because
that makes perfect sense.
every day companies would be born and die, just like us.
Yep. I
That's
agree
real
with that.
capitalism.
Now, 100% agree with that.
So if we look at it from that aspect, again, what Naruba said is 100% spot on. 100% spot on. But like I said, that's a deep conversation that must be had at a different time.
So you're doing that on the thought box?
Well, no. Next week on the downfall, I'll be discussing as it pertains to inflation. A lot of people, even with just that topic, people don't understand the intimacy between goods and services and the people that buy the goods, and people don't understand. I was on another live stream last. Shout out to Jesse. They had somebody on there said that inflation needs to be down at 0%. And all I could do was shake my head because that lets me know that they don't know what inflation is. If inflation was at 0%, we would be in a depression.
So
Like,
let me hold on.
go
Let me
ahead.
pause you there real quick. Venkat, do you agree with that number?
What number?
Inflation being at 0%.
No, it's not. No, hell no.
No. Would you want it to be at 0%?
No. That would be a problem. You can't have
If it
inflation.
was at 0%, you wouldn't have a job. No one
Yeah.
would have a job.
I just want to make sure, man, because sometimes you got to just see where you're at. All right, go ahead. I just wanted to
Yeah, that would be a big issue if that happened.
So what happened on the show, MD?
No. That's all I got. Like I said, next week I'll be talking about inflation. And you talking about the show I was on? Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. But that's just a microcosm of a larger issue. People don't understand what the economy is supposed to do, and that's problematic in and of itself. So that's all I wanted to say.
All right, well, that's all right. So thank you guys for tuning in to TFP/WWR. Brought to you exclusively by the Straight Talk Society. So let's get into the next story, because this will probably be the last time I praise Triple H for the night, and I still love him, but it is what it is. Let's get on to the next story here. Man, it's been a long time. So Demolition came out last week that Demolition signed the WWE Legends contract. So what makes this so surprising is that Demolition has basically been persona non grata from the WWE forever. They're never appeared in the games. You would never see them on lists. They never mention them on like the reunion shows. They never asked them to come back. And I will give Triple H credit, because he extended the olive branch and smoothed things over with oh my God, Bruno Sammartino. Now you see Jesse Ventura doing commentary on the main event. He smoothed things over Ultimate Warrior. He is smoothing things over, trying to right Vince McMahon's wrongs. So in the latest line of that, so you have an update on Demolition's Legend deal. So legendary team Demolition, Bill, Edie, and Barry Darsow have signed a WWE Legends deal, ending a decade-long estrangement and sparking speculation about a long-awaited Hall of Fame induction. Fightful Select reports that Demolition is under consideration for the 2025 Hall of Fame class alongside Michelle McCool. I'm going to rip that apart in a minute here. And Triple H. However, their induction is not yet confirmed and could be delayed another year. And I will tell you, if that induction is delayed one more year, then I'm going to stop watching this, because that would be
what if one of them die between now and then? Exactly. I'm surprised that they both alive. I thought Axe was dead or something. I mean, my God.
If you have them under a Legends deal and you don't put them in the Hall of Fame, when you have Michelle McCool in the Hall of Fame,
that's crazy. When you saw that on ESPN, I didn't see when she was crying. Undertaker crying. You should see the video. It's
Bones. No, you know what? All Bones did. Bones sent me a message, and Bones said Michelle McCool, and he didn't give it no context or anything. I'm like, what happened? And he just sent me a picture of her like getting the Hall of Fame nod. I say, you got to be kidding me.
I don't know how you do that. I don't even know this woman. I never seen her wrestle once. Not once.
She was around when I stopped watching. So when I stopped watching in like 2007, she was around like that 2007, 2011 period. When I came back, she was doing a gimmick with that black girl with the curly hair, Layla Ali or Layla something. And they kind of
you talking about Lay Cool.
Yeah, Lay Cool. They kind of split the title. But Listen, we're gonna have to go through this Hall of Fame and completely rip it apart because
so pretty much you get in the Hall of Fame just by marrying Undertaker, I guess.
Undertaker, yeah.
Boy, my God.
Is Artabella's in the Hall of Fame?
I'm sure they are.
They got in a couple of years ago.
Why?
Yeah, like
Couldn't
people that didn't do anything are getting in Hall of Fames. And you got Demolition that's been there from back in the day, holding up the titles, and now they still yet to be involved in the Hall of Fame.
As much as I don't care for Becky Lynch deserves to be in the Hall of Fame more than half the women. More than half the women in there. She's already had a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
In comparison to a Michelle McCool, a Stacy Keibler, a Tori Wilson. What the hell is Cyndi Lauper doing in there? Like, come on, man.
At least Cyndi Lauper is in the celebrity wing, which that's some bullcrap in itself. Celebrity wing. What the hell is that? An excuse to put people in there?
Jim Carrey. Not Jim Carrey. What's his name?
Carrey. Yeah. Which was ridiculous. He wasted a spot on the Royal Rumble, man. I'm still pissed about that.
So Fightful goes on to say, but the whole it could be delayed another year is just stupid. So it says, regardless, the Legend deal makes their Hall of Fame inclusion seem inevitable, which it has to be this year. It also ensures Demolition merchandise and their inclusion in the WWE 2K video game. So at least they get money. They get the royalties. They're in the video game. Now they're going to start selling Demolition merchandise. So I got to check the website and see if they got any Demolition shirts because I was a big Demolition fan. If inducted, see, they keep using this wording if and when or
very shaky.
Yeah, I don't like this. If inducted is unclear if the late Randy Coley, the original Smash, he shouldn't be involved. He was smashed for 2 matches. And the fans ruined it because they knew who he was, so they kept saying Moondog. Get out of here. Or Brian Adams. That's a debate we can have real quick. But let me finish reading this before we get to that. Will be included. Demolition's absence from the Hall of Fame may stem from their involvement in the 2016 class action lawsuit against WWE over brain injuries. Edie previously stated they aren't losing sleep over it, knowing fans recognize their legacy. He also suggested WWE had the New Day break their tag team title record in 2016 to diminish Demolition's legacy.
How petty, man! Them guys is petty as hell. That must have been Vince McMahon.
Yeah, that was but they absolutely did. That is why they did it. And it's funny. I don't think when they were close to breaking it that they ever mentioned who the previous champions were. I can't remember. I don't ever think they said they're going to break Demolition's record. So the thing I did want to talk about. So this report says is not sure if Randy Coley, who was the original Smash before Barry Darso, but that was for like two dark matches. I don't even think he made it to TV before the fans completely ruined it because they recognized him, and then that's when they brought in Darso. But the bigger one, if they get inducted this year, do you think they include Crush?
They should, because he was there during the time. He's not the core Demolition, but he's a part of it. So yeah, he should be there. He should.
MD, you think they include Crush?
I mean, they should. I mean,
if you did DX, you're gonna just have Triple H and Shawn Michaels, or you're gonna have the rest of the guys?
And that's the only reason why I would agree with y'all is because they inducted the NWO. They didn't induct all the members, but when they inducted the Horsemen, they didn't induct Ole Anderson. So
because he's dead.
Well, no, but remember they were inducted way before he died. He just recently died.
Well, first of all, Ole Anderson is racist. Nobody wants to be around him. So.
But Ole Anderson is just as much, if not more, of a member of the Horsemen than Barry Windham and Lex Luger.
Yeah, but ain't nobody gonna want to stand around him for a few hours during that induction.
A few minutes.
Yeah.
And him and Ric Flair hated each other. I don't think I have a problem with Crush, but I think when Crush got added to the group, that's when they were going down. When you talk about Demolition, I'm Axe Smash, and Crush, and the story of even why Crush was added was crazy because Bill Eadie had the seafood, the shellfish reaction, and they thought that he couldn't wrestle anymore, so they brought Crush in kind of until they knew what was going on. And then it kind of just went south from there. But I don't ever remember any good Crush moments. And I mean, he's gone. So, but I don't remember any good Crush moments in Demolition. Everything I remember from Demolition is always Axe Smash.
See, with me, Demolition for me is before my time. Before I started watching, with the Crush situation, I only knew Crush as Kona Crush. Like
Kona
that's the only,
Crush.
that's the only. You know what I mean? I didn't find out till later on that he was part of Demolition. So that's just me because I'm younger than y'all. So
Kona Crush and him feuding with Macho Man,
yeah,
him feuding with Doink the Clown with the double doinks. Oh man, yeah, I wouldn't have an issue with it, but the wording on this kind of throws me a little bit, and it could just be Sean Ross Sapp just writing stuff just to be writing because it's him writing. It's not WWE saying it. I got a hard time believing that these guys are still alive, knowing how people are dropping dead, that they would wait another year after they already have them under a Legends deal to induct them. Meanwhile, you just put Michelle McCool in there. Like when you start talking about Michelle McCool's accomplishments, how you think it's going to line up against a Demolition? I'll answer. It's not. Nothing. Her only claim to fame is that she's married to the Undertaker, and she probably does a better Styles Clash than AJ Styles. The Faith Breaker. That's what they call it, right? The Faith Breaker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just it's crazy that they would even write that, but they got to be going in because not for nothing. If Triple H is the headliner, you got to round that out with somebody that fans our age is gonna, really be wanting to see. And there's only Demolition left. I mean, who else really is out there that hasn't been inducted? That we're
they need to induct Doink the Clown. You might as well do it.
I mean, shit. The other clowns that they got in there, they might as well.
Yeah, but I'm legit serious. I mean, they should put him in there. I mean, he's for a mid card person or below mid card.
That was a great ass gimmick.
That's what I'm saying. He should be there, and there was a lot of money being made on that Doink the Clown persona on the independent circuit. Doink definitely should be in the Hall of Fame.
Rick Martel.
Rick Martel isn't in there. That's crazy. You know what you need to watch on Bruce Pritchard and I know MD don't like Conrad, but Bruce Pritchard and Conrad years ago did an episode on Doink the Clown. And it was like a 3-hour episode, but man, it was so fascinating. Venkat, you know who the original Doink is, right?
Yeah. Big Josh.
Big Josh, yeah. When I heard that, I was like, what? I see the guy that used to come to the ring with a big ass grizzly bear.
Yep.
I did not know that was him. Man,
he got that attitude.
Man,
he got that attitude.
That Doink persona was fantastic, man. That was that, but I mean, leave it to Vince McMahon. He kind of dumbed it down with the dink and all that stuff. Because hey, when you start bringing kid-friendly stuff into it, you always ruin it. Always ruin it. Hell, Doink
I agree with
IC champion.
Yeah, I agree with Mike there. CM Punk's wife, AJ.
Yeah,
she would have been a much better selection for real.
Yeah,
she's actually known. People know who the hell she is.
I would have put AJ in just for the AJ pipe bomb that she did on the Total Divas when she ethered the hell out of their asses. And you had the Bellas up there being so stupid. Whatever. You're a loser. She ethered the hell out of them, man. I would put her in just for that. But yeah, AJ Lee was good, man. Like I didn't appreciate her at first, but later on when she started really getting into that character, and she just skipped to the ring and all that stuff. I really liked her. I wish her time was longer. I mean, I understand why she left, but I was absolutely expecting to see her at the Royal Rumble. So I don't know what the hell happened there. But I would definitely put her in over Michelle McCool. And Michelle McCool may be a great person, but when I think of Hall of Fame, you're not. Hey, as much as I love him, ain't no way in the hell Tua is an NFL Hall of Famer right now. You're not going into the Hall of Fame for having one good year. So when you say Hall of Fame, it should be Hall of Fame worthy, like especially that they're making a physical building. You don't want to go there and see the statue of Michelle McCool.
Oh man!
Like, just think about that. That's crazy. That's.
I mean, the Diva era was bad in and of itself. I mean, it wasn't no real, you know what I mean? It wasn't like no real barriers being broken during the Diva era. It just wasn't. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, it was terrible. Just put it that way. I mean, you had Alicia Fox. I mean, she was easy on the eyes, but man, she was not good. At that time, you had a bunch of them that just weren't good. After Trish and what's the girl? Lita. What's the girl that went to TNA? Oh man,
Mickie James.
Yeah, Mickie James. After them, it was just like
it was over.
Yeah, like nothing.
I'd rather see Maurice in.
Yeah,
she looked better than Michelle McCool to me anyway.
Yeah. Maurice is. Yeah, Miz. Hey, listen, man. The Miz is winning at life, man. That's all I got to say. The Miz is winning. So, let's get into the next. Let's get into the next story. Because I said I was going to start Ether and Triple H, and I am going to do it. So everybody's going to be like, oh, Triple H can do no wrong in your eyes. Well, get ready. Here we go. We're going to lead into the main story here. So WWE parent company TKO reports record Q2 results in 2024. And all this that I'm about to read is going to make sense for what we go in later on. So business is booming for the WWE, with 2024 surpassing 2022 and 2023 in revenue and ticket sales. WWE has set record gates for PLEs like WrestleMania, Backlash, Money in the Bank, reflecting strong financial performance for his parent company TKO. And they do not shy away from reminding us after every single show that this was a record gate. And to our credit, everybody on this panel always says that that's a bad move. So leading into this, in a press release, TKO reported Q2 2024 revenue of $851.2 million, net income and $851.2 million with a net income of $150.7 million and adjusted for EBITDA. And I'm black and slow. I didn't know what that means, so I had to look it up. It stands for earnings before interest, tax, and amortization. Pretty sure MD.
Man, people are so damn lazy. They have to have an acronym for everything.
I don't know what that is.
I was about to say, did y'all know what that meant?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought for sure MD was gonna know what it was. I'm like, let me put this in parentheses so when I'm reading this.
I ain't in the financial sector. I don't know nothing about none of that.
I'm like, man, let me put this shit in there before I look like an idiot. So, EBITDA stands for earnings, benefits before interest, taxes, and amortization. So, that was of $420 million, both revenue and EBITDA marking quarterly records compared to Q2 of 2023. Listen to this: revenue grew 179% adjusted. EBITDA and 142%, and net income rose from 81.8 million to 100.56 million. In other words, they're making a fuck ton of money. While TKO's earnings include both WWE and UFC, this is the one that shocked the hell out of me. So Bones, Zay, if y'all listening, this shocked the hell out of me, what I'm about to read. WWE led the charge with 456.8 million in revenue and 251.3 million in EBITDA, surpassing UFC's $394.4 million and $231.9 million. I cannot believe WWE made more money than UFC. And the reason I say that, because UFC still does traditional pay-per-view. UFC does a pay-per-view sometimes 2 a month. UFC's pay-per-views are $80 each. UFC's ticket prices are like 5 times higher than WWE's. So
it sounds like that's the problem.
So if WWE does a gate, of 12 million, UFC could run that same building and get 20 million. So that's why this number shocks me. Due to this growth, TKO has raised its 2024 financial targets, increasing projected revenue from Jesus Christ. They've increased projected revenue from 2.67 billion to 2.745 billion, and adjusted EBITDA from 1.22 billion to 1.24 billion. WWE's financial success shows no sign of slowing down, and it must be noted that Monday Night Raw is averaging like 13 to 14,000 per show now, in like legit paid attendance, which is crazy. They haven't had a show under 10,000 in months, and that's just because the time they ran a smaller building. So, and with ticket prices, I looked up ticket prices for WrestleMania. Man, ridiculous. To sit in the nosebleeds, they want $1,500.
Exactly. So basically, you answered your own question then, Trevor. Because if Raw is averaging 13 per clip, damn near every other Raw they announcing some new gate record, pretty much. But mathematically speaking, they got more shows than UFC statistically. So there you go.
Well, I'm just saying, because UFC could run. Okay, so UFC on average. Okay, man, this is crazy. Narubin says he's an account manager, so very important figure to EBITDA. So hey, that's what I'm telling you. Y'all people think that we're incels because we watch wrestling. There you go. Narubin is an account manager, and he goes to all the shows. He goes to more shows than me. So so there you go. But I'm just saying, like, UFC, because I think there's a UFC coming here soon, because Zay was talking about it, and we were talking about going to one, but the tickets are going to be like ridiculous. And and I tell you, whenever I go to WWE, it's who fell off? Van Cat fell off. Whenever I go to a WWE show, my tickets, and even for a house show, like, my tickets are north of $100, and that's for house shows. So don't let it be like a SmackDown or something, and then they're getting what Jim Ross said, that they wanted to get like $50. This was back in the day. They tried to get $50 every 18 inches. So every seat they tried to get $50 from each person in merchandise. I told y'all when we went to the holiday tour, my daughter had to pull out her debit card because she wanted all the Jey Uso merchandise. So when that guy win the title, man, this shit gonna be crazy. His merchandise ain't gonna be able to last. Right. You want to say something?
I'm gonna go crazy when Jey Uso wins. No doubt that he's winning.
All right. Don't let us have a WrestleMania 39 and have Gunther ruin everybody's hopes and dreams. But so WWE, and the reason I read this because I want to set up the next portion here. So we all say it, we don't like it, and Venkat especially. Shout out to Thinking Black in the building. So big UFC fan. So Thinking Black, let me ask you a question. Does it surprise you that WWE made more money than the UFC? Get Bones, because I want to know. I want to see what he thinks about that. Bones and Zay, because that's a crazy figure to me. But with all that being said, Venkat is the one who led this charge. I give him that. He hated at the press conferences when Triple H would come out and be like, "Oh, we set a gate record." And Venkat, because Venkat, Mr. Economical, let's not rip off the American people and all that good stuff. Like, why are you applauding the fact that you're getting more money from your fan base? That's kind of gross. So now when you see that, because they do it on every show. Every show is a record. Every show, the gate record. They just ran Lucas Oil Stadium. Legit 60,000 plus in there. The amount of money they made there for subpar Royal Rumble. It's just, it's crazy. Like they're literally just printing money right now. And then you see this. WWE starts the old release machine. So I am not a hypocrite. I have said on this show for a ton of time that WWE can stand to lose 30% of their roster. I have said that, and I stand by that. I think they have too many wrestlers. I think AEW has too many wrestlers. They have more wrestlers than they can get on TV, and they're not cycling them in and out. They're not putting them on a schedule like an off season, like you work 3 months and you get off, and they're not doing that. Sometimes you're just seeing, hey, Penta's great, but I've seen Penta on every single Monday Night Raw since he's been there. But then you have other guys that you don't ever see. Like I forget that some guys are on the roster. So WWE did have a wave of releases. All this coming off of a purge. Yeah, well, you say that. All this of them coming off of bragging how much money they make. And now it's getting to a point where they say it on the broadcast now. They're like, oh my God, this is the most financially lucrative time for the company. And we're in this territory here. We're making all this money here. And they are literally saying it. That's one thing Vince McMahon never did. If we're going to give him credit about anything, he never bragged on TV about how much money they were making. He used to say that they weren't making money, so people feel sorry for him. But he wasn't out there talking about gate records and stuff like that. So I think that's really gross. And then you start releasing your roster. And again, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I think that they could stand to lose some of their wrestlers. But I was saying, like, hey, send them to other companies and do things like that. You see, they sent Omos to Japan to teach him how to wrestle. He became a champion over there. Now he's getting ready to come back. They have this new ID program. You got NXT is bigger than ever now. And I did see the video you sent, Venkat. Fuck, now Moose is in NXT. I've only been clamoring for a Moose versus Obafemi. Oh my goodness, them jokers gonna beat the hell out of each other. So that's gonna be crazy. But I just didn't expect this, especially coming off of touting how much money you're making and how you're taking over everything and you're the global leader and this and that. And so before we move on, what do you guys think about, first of all, before we even get into the releases, them touting all the money that they make, and now you're about to see what's going to happen?
Oh, it's completely gross. But one thing I'm thinking is maybe Triple H and them, they're thinking the more they say how much they're making, the more the perception by the fans are, man, this is a hot product and we need to get on board with this. Everybody going to see this. And it just drives people to fall in line and whatnot. Maybe that's the kind of the thinking that they're doing. I'm not sure, but I don't like it. I think it's just ridiculous and it's obnoxious, really. I mean, 16,000 people, that's a record. I don't want to hear a record of a 16,000 when you had been conditioning us to expect 70, 80, 100,000 as being this monumental attendance. And now 16,000, and they're like the NBA. When the NBA were looking for excuses for new records because Will Chamberlain had all the records. Oh, this is the most points in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Oh, this is the most assists on a Sunday in the month of December. And like they were making up like all these different statistical reasonings. And it's frustrating to me. And I've always hated that. And it seems like WWE is doing the same damn thing.
Well, I would argue the reasoning behind why they do it is based off of what you just said. You just equated the arena gate to people and not the paper. So and again, a lot of people will fall for that. They do it, and we can't sit here and say WWE ain't no hot ticket.
Oh no, see that's the only thing I'm gonna disagree with him on, but I get his overall point.
Right, yeah. It's a hot ticket. High demand equals more money. Let's see how we can go before people like say, look, I'm not paying for that. You know, I told Trevor and Venkat the go home show for the Royal Rumble. I looked up, you know, I wasn't planning on going anyway. I looked up the ticket prices for the seats that I had at Bad Blood. They were the same price. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. That was a pay-per-view. So, well, you know, and it's a go home show. I get it. But at the end of the day, it's still Raw. And you charging me just as much to go to a Raw into a PLE? That's crazy. I'm not doing that. So, hey, but at the end of the day, it's a hot ticket. To compound what you was talking about with the revenue, the Forbes new billionaire list came out. Ari Emanuel was on it. So, you know,
Oh,
there's
he
that.
is?
Yeah. So he, you know, he getting his money. He getting his money. I did not know he was the brother of Rob Emanuel. I didn't know that. Did you know that, Van?
I thought of it, but I didn't know for sure. I thought that was possible.
Yeah, in the article I read, they said it. I was like, well, you know, now it definitely makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So I'll say this because I know where Venkat gonna go. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, the product's not hot to be justifying that. So if that was the case, and if that was the case, then the people wouldn't be spending these ridiculous amounts of money to go to the product. So that's my only thing to that. Everything else you said, I don't disagree with. I don't think you need to be announcing every time you go to the every time you go to the Snickers.com building, you're announcing that is a new indoor attendance record, and the building only holds 10,000 people. You put 11,000 in there, and you're announcing every minute that, oh yeah, we put 11K in the Snickers building.
And keep this in mind too, though, Trev. People got more access and credit now than ever before. You can go get a ticket and get Klarna or Afterpay or any one of these,
Affirm. Yep.
Yeah, Affirm or any one of these and go. You know, you gonna put
And
high
that's how
interest
they're
on it.
doing it. That's exactly how people are doing it. Because these bastards in America know they can't afford a 400, 500. I know I can't. Can't afford unexpected problem that happened in their life, but they flying around doing all this crap. They could go somewhere with that crap.
Well, Venkat,
It's easier access to credit.
Look at Beyonce. Look at Beyonce tickets. Look at Beyonce ticket prices. They're in the thousands, like
that's ridiculous.
$4,000 and stuff like that. So I asked my wife yesterday, I'm like, do they stream these things? Because wouldn't you think, okay, so like how they stream the Super Bowl, so people pay to go to the Super Bowl. They spend these ridiculous amounts of money, but the Super Bowl is also a televised event. Don't you think that like these big concerts, and we're going to a concert Friday. So don't you think these big concerts would allow streaming for a cost? So like if I can't pay $4,000 to go see Beyonce, but I want to see her, why not charge me $100 on a streaming platform?
Because they're stupid as hell and they don't know how to do stuff like that. What you're saying is smart.
Oh, okay.
But they're not too smart now. They're not too smart at all. Because that's just money that they just left on the table. And like a lot of these companies in general leave money on the table. And it's a disservice to their own fans.
Exactly.
Because everybody just losing all over the place.
Rock Nation actually tried to do that, but they stopped doing it.
Why?
They used I don't know why. I don't know. They used to have the Rock Nation app, and they had the Rock Nation TV on what was that channel? What was that channel? Where they had like they were streaming live concerts. They just stopped doing it. I don't know.
Now YouTube has YouTube Music. You got Spotify. Why don't Spotify create a video media or streaming service and just have people pay like a one-time monthly fee on like on Netflix, and you can get all these artists because everybody's performing somewhere every day, every night.
Yeah.
But there's like endless pools of concerts to tap in, give the artists a cut of it. Everybody will be satisfied. The artists getting paid, they getting paid. The fans are getting to see things they would have never otherwise seen. And there's all kinds of interesting venues and places around the world that they're performing. They're performing in Africa. They're performing in Madison Square Garden. They're performing all over the place. That's money that just never was materialized.
Because offering it on streaming is not going to deter people from going. Because wherever they're having it at, if they're having it at MSG, you could only put. I know that here at the AAA, the most you can get is like 20K in a building for a concert. That's 20,000 people, but 100,000 people, 500,000 people want to see your concert. So if those guys that have the ability to go to the arena and watch it, that's not going to deter them from going to watch it. But now you offer them an option like, hey, you can't be there in the building, but I'm sure you got a 50-inch TV. I'm sure you got a 70-inch TV. I'm sure you got surround sound. Won't you pay the streaming costs and watch it?
And what makes it even bigger and better is that thing you were talking about with the sports, where you get those special angles. Because you imagine now it's like you feel like you're right there. So essentially what you're doing is you're adding additional virtual seats to the concert. You're getting paid, and you're paid that it can be unlimited because you were limited before to the capacity of the arena. Now it's unlimited with the streaming. But again, they don't think like that because it's friggin' idiots.
Yeah, I listen. I don't disagree at all, man. Because come on, MD. We're sports fans. How many Georgia Bulldog games do you get to go to?
I only ever been to one.
You only been to one,
and that's a hot. And you talking about hot ticket?
The waiting list for that is probably 10 years minimum.
That's a hot ticket.
The waiting list for a Green Bay Packer to get season tickets for the Green Bay Packers is like, I think they said it was like 20 years because they're literally you're birthed into that, so you're grandfathered into that. People just hand them down to their kids, so the likelihood of you ever getting it will never happen. So what if we couldn't watch NFL on TV, or you couldn't watch the Georgia Bulldogs on TV?
It gotta be definitely jacked up.
Exactly.
And they ain't losing no money like that.
Exactly.
NFL and NCAA ain't stupid.
Listen, I've been to tons of Dolphin games, but I can assure you, I'd rather watch it at home. Because once you pay for, especially if they lose, oh my God, it's one thing if they win, that's different. But if they lose and you got to take that long walk out of Hard Rock Stadium, miserable. You just spent $100 to park, and now you got to wait 4 hours to get out of the stadium. Is a nightmare. Whereas if you home in front on your lazy couch in front of your big ass TV, drinking all the beer you want, drowning your misery, hey, there's never a better time than that. Never a better time than that. So these companies,
you can't deny the experience. The experience going to a live football game, it's an experience. But yeah, I would rather watch it at home.
Yeah, it is. The only thing I can't remember is going to bat. I know I've been to Miami Heat games. I just can't remember them because I didn't go to enough of them. I've been to a bunch of Dolphin games and a bunch of wrestling. I've been to baseball, things like that. So the live experience is fun because of the fan interaction. But to me, I'm just thinking of the inconvenience, man, trying to get out. And especially at a wrestling show, there's a lot of people in there. And then you're at the AAA trying to use those elevators. They're trying to pack everybody in the elevators, and they can only take 20 at a time. And there's 15,000 people in the building. Oh my God. Then you're paying your $25 for your 4 chicken fingers. Don't get me started.
When you're watching live sports, especially like I was watching the Lakers against the Heat back in 2015 when Kobe Bryant was doing his last tour games and stuff, and then Kobe Bryant sat out the damn game, but whatever. So you're sitting there watching, and it's a big difference when you don't hear the commentators. You don't see the score come up on your face. You got to look up to see what's going on. It's a different experience altogether. It is much better at home because multiple angles are accessible, and you have them telling you the story and painting the narrative through the commentary. You miss that badly when you don't have the commentators and you're just sitting there just watching stuff happen. It doesn't have the same oomph to it. So I rather see it on TV too.
I gotta ask you this, MD. How you view that? Because I know with me, it's weird at wrestling without the commentary. It is weird. But when you're at football, how do you watch that without the commentary? You rather hearing the commentary? I rather hear the commentary.
I mean, it's a certain aspect that yeah, I like the commentary, but again, when you go into a football game, it's a different experience, and especially if you know football and you know what you're looking at, and you can see it from a wider angle. They're being live, I like it. I like it, and a part of it is the atmosphere. Like I said, I done been to playoff games, so don't nothing touch that. You know what I mean? I was at the divisional round game in 2016 against the Seahawks. I was at an NLCS game with the Braves and the Dodgers. Bro, can't nothing touch that experience. Nothing.
All right, so let's get into these releases, and then we'll be out of your way. But so again, because I'm not going to be a hypocrite here. I said on my show this morning that I wear a size 13. There was a time I wore a size 11. I don't keep my size 11 shoes anymore. So sometimes when you're bringing in new things, you got to make room for them. But I just don't like the grossness of the company lauding how much money they're making. And then it just leaked the other day how much money the wrestlers are making. And they're just like, see, we're paying them all this money and this and that. And it's just, I don't know. To me, it just comes off bad. But again, a lot of these guys are making tremendous amounts of money. They'll be fine. And the best thing that could happen to them is they could now put former WWE talent on their roster, because every indie promotion is going to give them a ridiculous amount of money to show up because they'll pack their house. So let's get into some of these releases. And not for nothing, most of these releases, listen, you haven't even seen them on TV. So it's just like, come on, man. Let me see what Thinking Black says. I can imagine the playoff is going to be, I'm a Dolphin fan, so you don't see too many of them around here. But the last home playoff game we had here was in 2008, and we got slaughtered against the Baltimore Ravens. That was the Wildcat game. So yeah, go figure. But a lot of these releases, I'm just like, man, just a fart in church. So, but you never want to, you never rejoice when a guy or girl loses their job. So let's get into these releases. I think it was like 7 of them. So the first one, this one happened last month. This one I was pissed about because I think they totally wasted this guy, Baron Corbin. I used to love the lone wolf gimmick in NXT when he would beat you in like 45 seconds, when the crowd would actually count down his matches. He had size. He was a prototypical Vince McMahon guy, big guy, used to be a boxer, used to be in the NFL, had a great NXT gimmick, actually won the Money in the Bank, and they made him lose it. His debut, he destroyed Dolph Ziggler. It just seemed like when they did that Constable Corbin gimmick or whatever it was, Constable Corbin, it just killed him dead. And then they went into the Happy Corbin. They had him growing his hair out. Then he went to like bum ass Corbin, and it's like they just try to find everything to do to destroy this guy. Triple H takes over. They send him back to NXT. He teams with Braun Breaker as the Dirty Dogs. They have a fantastic tag team. They win the NXT titles. You bring them back up, and I'm like, okay, they're going to get this guy another run. Next thing you know, they let him go. So Baron Corbin is the first casualty, man. So what do you guys have on old Baron Corbin? And listen, the guy's going to be okay. He can literally his whole thing when he first got to WWE was the indie killer. He hated indie wrestlers. He could literally right now go on the indie scene and just run an indie killer gimmick, and he'll make so much money. People will pay so much money to watch him get beaten. So what do you guys think about Baron Corbin, and where do you think he's going to end up?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. Again, I'm with you, Trev. The lone wolf gimmick was fire, and I could have saw that transition to the main roster, but we know how that played out with Vince or whatever. I would have thought that once he came back up from NXT with Braun, that something could have happened with that, but I guess it just wasn't a spot for him. From what I saw, I believe he's doing something in GCW. I could be wrong, but
Okay.
I believe I saw something with him with his real name in GCW that he's supposed to be doing pretty soon. It was either GCW or MLW, one of them. But yeah, he'll be okay. He'll be okay. I think he can go on the indie scene and kind of sort of do what Drew McIntyre did.
Yeah.
And just be dominant on the indie scene.
Do you see him in Japan?
I mean, I guess he can transition to Japan because they always looking for the big American.
And MD, his style with the smaller guys are phenomenal. His matches with Chad Gable, his matches with Neville. Anytime you put him in the ring with a small guy that could bounce off of him and he could hit that damn end of days on them out of any transition. Oh, just a thing of beauty. Just a thing of beauty. I can see him doing a G1 tournament.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I think we ain't seen the last of him in WWE. I think, if he can do what he needs to do on the indie scene and maybe go to like a TNA, but like a TNA or MLW and work his way back up. I think he can possibly come back at some point because he's young enough. You know what I mean?
I think he's close to 40.
Oh, well, never mind. I thought he was younger than that.
They shouldn't have cut his hair. They shouldn't have cut his hair. When he had the mullet with the bald spot in the middle, they should have never cut it. Cause he just looked like a curmudgeon badass with that. They should have never cut his hair. Never. Venkat, what do you think about old Baron Corbin? Uh-oh. Venkat.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Baron Corbin, I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of him, not even a little bit.
Really?
Nah. I mean, but I don't. It's not really because he may be bad. It's just because I just never followed him. The time I seen him, he just looked like, a jobber to me. And the times you guys have an affinity for him, I didn't see him in that capacity. So all I got from him was him being a jobber most of the time. So, but it's good for him. I mean, hopefully he come back strong and he does good things. I don't really have a problem with him. Go ahead.
So you didn't see him. You didn't see him in NXT then.
Right. Okay. So I don't have that context, and that's okay.
Nah, his NXT run was great.
Even with the Constable stuff, around the end of that, they had an opportunity when he was feuding with Seth and he hit that damn end of days on Becky.
Yes.
I was like, this may put him over the top, but it fizzled out.
When he hit Becky Lynch with that end of days, I said, oh my God, they're going to put the title on him. Because there was nobody more nuclear heat than him at that time.
Yeah. And it was groundbreaking. Not in the sense that we ain't never seen like intergender. Of course we have. But at that time, that was groundbreaking for WWE standard.
Yeah, you wasn't seeing that in WWE. and he got her good. Like, I mean, she went into because we all was like, damn, would he ever do this? And because they kept teasing it, and there's just like, man, he wouldn't do this. WWE wouldn't let him do this. And all of a sudden, when he did it at that pay-per-view, and the look on Seth Rollins' face, I'm like, oh shit. Like the whole arena just went crazy. Man, oh my God, they could have had their monster heel right there.
Yeah, and took him out the dress shirt and the slacks.
Yeah. And the good old W. And you know what it was too? What killed him also was when the fans started revolting against them, and Triple H and Stephanie came out and was like, we hear all the rumors, we hear it, and we're gonna start doing what you guys want us to do. And they put all the blame on him in storyline, that he was the reason for the show sucking. I think that, man, that was a bad move, man, that they took all the heat. They took all the heat off themselves and put it on him. That was a bad move.
I don't know how many times you're gonna see bad moves from Triple H and Stephanie. They ain't doing nothing but bad moves. If you look back, that's all they ever do is bad moves.
Well, that we'll see. We'll see. Let me see. Let's get to the next one. This one I kind of was surprised by this one, because I got a soft spot for Indy Hartwell, and I'll say this: Indy Hartwell is not a good wrestler. She is not a good wrestler. I'm sorry to everybody on the internet that's gonna call me all type of names and say that I'm stupid and things like that. Indy Hartwell is not a good wrestler. She's very clumsy. If we talk bad about how Bianca Belair counts all her steps, then Indy Hartwell does it 10 times as much. Everything she does, but it's funny because everything she does is so clumsy, but it just looks like it fits her though. She was never hotter than the Dexter Loomis angle in NXT. I mean, go figure.
How long has she been wrestling?
She been wrestling a couple of years. I mean, she's young, but she's been with WWE for what year is this? 2024. So she released 2024. She's been with WWE probably like 4 years. I know it was pre-COVID, because she was with Johnny Gargano and their group, teaming with Candice LeRae. She won. So in the craziest, I mean, this was bonehead. She won the NXT title. I'm thinking she broke her leg in the match, and these assholes drafted her to the main roster. She
should have been ineligible if you're injured.
Just won the NXT title. That pay-per-view, which was like, say the pay-per-view was a Sunday and they did the draft the following week, she broke her leg the night she won the title. Because we thought it was fake, but it was for real. And
she relinquished it on the following NXT.
Yeah, they drafted her on the following week as the champion with a broken leg. Never had a chance to heal and defend her title on the roster, that they had the perfect story for her that she could never win the big one. So they never let that materialize. So she was literally doomed from the beginning. And I think she's gonna be an indie darling. I think funny, her name's Indy Hartwell, so she could run an indie gimmick. Yes, she'll I think she's gonna be a darling on the indie scene. I think she'll end up in AEW. So let me ask you a question. With WWE's relationship with TNA now, because WWE and TNA are in bed together, normally a lot of these people would just go to TNA. Do you think WWE kind of pushes some of them that way? Because remember at the beginning when this partnership was announced, I said, man, this is going to be WWE's way of getting their guys on TV without having to pay them, like getting them to work in front of TNA crowd.
So are you saying that for Baron Corbin as well?
Nah, Baron Corbin to me
he seems to be more seasoned.
Yeah, but he's a bigger deal. I think Baron Corbin is gonna take the indie route. But I'm saying somebody like Indy Hartwell, because everybody can't go to AEW.
Well, AEW purged as well.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, AEW just purged some niggas off their roster.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's not going to be able to go to AEW though. So the next place would be TNA. But if WWE and TNA are in bed, do you think WWE like, hey, don't hire that person, or hey, hire this person, keep them on the roster, and then when I got an idea for them, I'll get them back from
you. It's possible. It's possible.
So what do you guys think about Indy Hartwell?
Yeah, I agree with you, Trail. She can't wrestle worth a damn. But her character was good. She had good character work. The whole impressive thing, throwing up the thumb, and of course, the stuff with Dexter Lumis, it worked. It was one of the biggest angles in NXT at the time. I think they should have pushed her more, like toward the I don't want to say super heavyweight because she ain't that, but like the big girl style. I think
Really?
that would have suit. Yeah, I mean, she tall and big.
She's not big. She's tall.
Well, look at somebody like Raquel. She
can
tall.
have a big beefy son of a bitch match.
No, Raquel can have a big beefy. Raquel is a big beefy son of a bitch, not Indy.
I don't think Indy too far off, Trail. I don't think so. Like, she pretty big, bro. She towered over a lot of them girls in NXT. I think if they would have pushed her more toward that style, it would have fitted her better.
You know what they could have done? They could have done her like Crash Holly made her think she was a super heavyweight and just go pick fights with everybody bigger. Or yeah, I don't know, because I know she's really tall. That's the thing. She was really tall, but to me, she was like the regular build of most of them. Like I don't think she's not, obviously she's not bigger than a Jordan Grace. She's not Bianca's size. So I never really saw her as too big. Definitely not a Rhea Ripley size. Yeah, everybody fell off. What happened?
No comment.
Oh, damn, MD fell off. What's your thoughts about Indy Hartwell, Venkat?
I don't have any thoughts about her. I don't really follow her, so I couldn't give you anything worth giving on this one. I hope she could come back. It just sounds kind of bad that we would cut somebody like this, because you're saying she's been in WWE for 4 years, and I would like to see her get some more time and get some more experience to see if she can turn this into something, because a lot of these people they'll be in there and they don't seem like they have anything to offer, and then you end up turning into what's her name? Oh God, I forgot her name. The lady that is with Dominic.
Liv.
Yeah, you could be like another Liv Morgan.
Yeah, Liv, man. Liv.
But if you don't put that energy and time into it, it might never get realized. So I would have liked to have seen her get it, judging by what you guys are saying here.
But where are they getting that time from? Like, so this is
they got plenty of time now. They got shows. Don't they still have superstars?
I'm not sure. I know they do. I think they still do main event. And
that's what I'm saying. They got a lot of little things. Plus, I'm sure they have their, maybe not OVW, but other little leagues. Not to mention your joint partnership with TNA. There are avenues for WWE to have people on a roster and them gain experience, and then hopefully it can materialize into something greater than what you may not see at the moment.
And they aren't doing house shows anymore either. Not a lot.
Which I'm very happy about that. I've always said, back in the Nitro, before Nitro, I would say, why are these wrestlers wrestling house shows? It never gets seen by anybody except for the people at the house show. That's like a complete waste. Like, everything they do, it should be recorded. Like the NBA or the NFL. Every NFL game is recorded. It's played somewhere. Every time those guys step in the ring, they should be seen. It should be played somewhere. So
at the very least for documentary purposes.
Yeah, something has to happen with it. It can't just be, oh, we're doing a performance like we're musicians that are performing in somebody's backyard for $50. Like wrestling can't be that no more. It has to be more of like close to like sport, like you're saying, and prize fight, where it's even at the lowest level and at the highest level. They all should be recorded, and there should be a venue to place all those types of matches somewhere, from the bottom to the top. That's how it should always have been. So superstars, velocity, whatever the hell show you want to have, there needs to be a show for these types of wrestlers. And then your Roman Reigns, of course, you got the PLEs and all that other stuff. But they need to differentiate who goes where and what. And they can't keep canceling shows and not having shows because you need those places to showcase people. That's what AEW dumbasses don't understand. They got all these guys on their roster and they got 3 shows and they don't know what they're doing with those shows.
I think they only got 2 now. They got rid of Rampage.
Well, still 3 because you still got Ring of Honor if you really count Ring of Honor.
What show Ring of Honor got? You don't see it.
Well, that's another issue
Where
too.
can you find Ring of Honor?
I told you got to pay for it. They got that Honor Club thing, man.
That's ridiculous.
Who gonna pay for Ring of Honor, bro?
I'm not paying for WWE.
Who paying for that?
Yeah, why the hell?
Why would I pay for Ring of Honor? Man, I pay for WWE.
That's crazy. MD, where do you think Indy Hartwell is going to end up?
I don't know. Maybe she'll go to the Indies for a little short period. But yeah, I can see her going somewhere like TNA. That would make sense because I think she got a big enough name and she's young enough to build herself up in a place like TNA. I can see her going there. AEW, I think, is out of the question. I don't even think she fit in a place like AEW. So,
but hey, she got one thing going for her. She got former WWE superstar attached to her name, so you know they'll be quick to try to snatch her up. So let's get to the ones that were released last week. This was a shock to me. I saw her debut, funny, at a SmackDown show. We were at a SmackDown show. And we watched her actually coming out of the back. We didn't know who it was until they zoomed in on her. We saw like, oh crap, that's Elektra Lopez. They did release Elektra Lopez. She was the manager, I guess, of Legado del Fantasma. Fantastic look, not too great in the ring, but it's weird that in the WWE that they would let somebody that looks like this go, like with this type of look.
That's what I'm saying. They need to give them the opportunity to mold themselves.
Yeah.
You took out WCW and ECW. You damn sure better put the money into giving these people a place to hone their craft. Because you done took out the competition that would have had the place for them to go to.
But the thing with her, though, she was in NXT, and maybe MD will remember. I don't remember her doing anything in NXT. Anything.
No, I don't remember.
But that may not be her fault, though. That's just their lack of vision. That's why Triple H can't get black guys to do anything.
But do you think that I don't know what to compare her wrestling to, because I don't ever remember seeing it. But that's why I'm saying she is absolutely a look. She'll be a great, okay, here you go for wrestler X, because there's a bunch of them on the roster that can't get over. You stick a pretty girl with them and let her do the talking, and let him do the in-ring work. There you go. Now you get a guy.
But we know based off of recent stuff that WWE is doing, they don't put value in a valet or a manager. So you know, if you can't cut it in the ring, you kind of assed out.
Yeah, this is, and I again, I don't know. I don't remember anything she ever did in NXT, and she hasn't been on the main roster for any length of time. So I don't remember anything she's done in NXT. So I couldn't even tell you. At least with Indy Hartwell, I got a good enough catalog of her matches to be like, yeah, she's not really that good. But this chick, I don't know. I mean, you could see she looks beautiful. I mean, but I just don't know. I don't know what she could do in the ring, but I'm pretty sure at the very least somebody will hire her as a model. I mean, I don't know. And then she fit with Legado del Fantasma. You can't take when they put her with when and I know they put her with them so that she could be the one to fight Zelina Vega when the LWO was fighting Legado del Fantasma. And now that was over, but she just fit with them. It like when Santos is cutting his promo and she's standing there kind of giving out orders and stuff, she just fit with them. So it's like it's crazy that they look at that and be like, oh yeah, you can go. That's crazy. But yeah, what you guys have on her?
Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if she got a future. I don't know where she could go. You know, I don't know. Like you said, yeah, maybe she need to register on OnlyFans or something. She got that.
I just said OnlyFans.
So, other than that, we ain't got nothing for you right now. You know what I mean?
It's crazy that they could. I don't know, man. All right, so let's get to the next. There's a couple more left. This one surprised the hell out of me too, just because again, you bring up somebody from NXT with zero direction, no direction. She came up from NXT. She looked like she was going to feud with Naomi. I think they had like 2 or 3 matches, and then you never saw her again. Blair Davenport, when they signed her in NXT, she was a big deal. And if I'm not mistaken, unless this is a Mandela effect, and I think I saw this, I could have swore she won the Iron Survivor match. I could have swore she won the Iron Survivor match, or she won a match for number 1 contendership in NXT. Nevertheless, she never got her title match. This could be a whole Mandela effect thing where I thought I saw something that I didn't really see, but Blair Davenport, again, I know she was a big name coming from the indie scene, and you didn't. There's just not a big enough resume for me in WWE to really give a honest opinion on her. But from what I see, everybody saying online is that, you know, she'll probably be like AEW or TNA bound. I mean, she's gonna bounce back because she'll be a hot commodity.
Why don't they have Iron Survivor matches at Survivor Series?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did wrestle for the NXT title against Lyra Valkyrie. She did.
Oh, she did. So, okay, so that means she. Okay, so I didn't imagine that. I knew she won a number 1 contenders match.
Yeah, but now we talk about AEW. She's probably going to AEW.
Yeah.
So you know that's the one. Yeah, that's the one that I can see definitely going to AEW.
Because she's not bad.
No.
And it looked like they were starting to feud her with Bayley also. Which shout out to Bayley in the NBA All-Star game. Which boy, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. If you watch the NBA All-Star game, man, you need to get some friends, bro. Like for real.
What do you mean by that?
Oh man, Cat, don't tell me you watch. Oh man.
What do you mean by that, sir?
Oh, don't tell me you watch that.
Oh yeah, it was good. It was good. What wasn't good was the stuff in between. They prolonged the hell out of it. Just get to the goddamn game already. And it was good. They actually were playing defense. There were shots being blocked.
So what was that Bayley was in? Bayley played in the NBA game over the weekend.
Oh, that must have been the celebrity basketball game.
Okay, so that was the Jerry Rice versus some. Ugh.
Yeah, that's celebrity basketball. That's like Friday night. I'm talking about the actual Sunday All-Star game where they had 4 teams playing.
You see the ratings for the NBA?
Oh, that's their fault.
Shame on all sports, bro. Shame on every single organized
the
sport.
football having issues too.
Oh God,
for
hey,
not
listen, if
putting
you
on this
watching the Pro
on
Bowl,
the All-Star. Yeah, if you watching the Pro Bowl, yeah, you really messed up. You ain't got nothing to do. You ain't got nothing to do at all. Like, hell, it's really not even no Pro Bowl. What do they call it? What do they call it? Trent, a skills challenge or whatever they have?
skills challenge. I saw Peyton Manning trying to kick a 30-yard field goal. I'm like, man, you better get this shit off my
Ridiculous, man.
TV.
Ridiculous.
Peyton and Eli.
When we were kids, man, the All-Star games, the Pro Bowl, it meant something, man.
The NBA
It
had the
meant
best
something.
All-Star game when we were kids. The NBA All-Star game was so good, and I don't know where it took a left. I don't know where it happened.
You know where it happened. It's LeBron James' fault.
Oh, man.
Come on, man.
Go ahead. How?
This generation of so-called superstars with the load management, Kawhi Leonard bitch ass. And I like Kawhi Leonard, but not no more. That's all they do. They sit out games. They don't give maximum effort. They're getting paid more than anybody else ever got paid. They're getting Lear jets flying them around from town to town. Man, that's fricked up, man. They don't have any drive at all. So when you watch the All-Star game this past Saturday, you saw they had two teams that were like up and comers, and then you had two of the all-star guys. And when the up and comers were playing against all-star guys, the whole game they played hard because they didn't want to get embarrassed, like the '92 Dream Team got embarrassed by the college kids in a practice. They didn't want to be like that, so they played.
What's at stake? What's at stake? What's at stake?
Pride.
No, I'm saying because like in the NBA in Major League Baseball, I think the winner get home field advantage in the World Series.
Well, they should do that. They definitely need to do that, and it would make sense. So you go back if they go back to East West, and which conference wins home court advantage. That would be something to play for. So yeah. I mean, they need to do that. But this game wasn't as bad. Draymond Green was on TV just blasting it before it even occurred. I mean, he had all these strong opinions about something. He didn't give it a chance. And they actually played better. There was defense being played out there.
But was he lying, though, that cat?
Huh?
Was he lying, though, when he said it was born?
No, he was damn sure lying, and he acted like as if he don't know the people that created the All-Star game being lackadaisical and lazy, like the people that are in the game right this past weekend. A lot of them were. LeBron James is one of them. LeBron James, first of all, he should be criticized heavily because his bitch ass came to be an all-star, but all week long, I'm an all-star. 1 hour before the game, oh, my leg hurt, I can't play. So he took a spot from a guy that they could have had replace him, and now that guy couldn't be an all-star. Probably Norman Powell from the Clippers, former Portland Trailblazer, having a career year, 24 points per game. He screwed that guy over. That guy had never been an all-star. He could have been an all-star.
They shafted Trae Young back at. They shafted him.
No, Trae Young got in because Giannis said he's not going to play.
Okay. Well, that lets you know I ain't watch.
Huh? Yeah, well, I'm just saying. I know
like when we were kids, he was spitting off these random ass facts. Oh, Clyde Drexler, 23 points a game.
I'm just saying, LeBron James screwed that guy over, man. He ain't never been an all-star. Now he still ain't an all-star. They can't replace somebody an hour before the game starts. And he knew he wasn't going to play. And it's a new format. You're the face of the league, and you don't play in it. That's just dirty. Dirty.
All right, well, there go your buckets and beyond talk. So yeah, I think Blair Davenport, she'll be all right. I think she's well, she's gonna be in AEW soon as those 90 days are up. So this one shocked the hell out of me, if only for one reason. Because again, here you go. Bones was pissed with this one because Bones loves this woman here. Isla Dawn was released. So here's my issue. You get rid of the better of the two, the more charismatic of the two. You have Alba Fire, who, man, in the words of Venkat, eat a sandwich or something. You have Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. I think they were, I forget what their name was. That doesn't matter. Former tag team champions. And you get rid of the one that's more marketable. And it's just like, you know what? Now we're just left with boring ass Alba Fire, who I don't think was better than her in ring. Now I know a lot of people like Alba Fire and things like that. Maybe she could run a hardcore gimmick. Who knows? But if I was going to get rid of one of the two, I wouldn't have got rid of either of them because you need depth in the tag team division. But if I was going to get rid of either of the two, it would not have been this one. MD, what do you know about Isla Dawn? With the exception of top white booty in wrestling, one of the top.
Yeah, I'm about to say not the top. We know who hold that crown.
Tony Storm.
But yeah, man, I agree. So you said something interesting. So you didn't like Kaylee Ray in NXT UK because I thought she was pretty good.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're banking off of, that she could go more so with the crazy, with the crazy fired up gimmick. I was more of an Isla Dawn fan because she played the witch.
Yeah, okay. I mean, again, this goes to the point. After they lost the championships, like there was no direction for it. So Alba Fire, I mean, I haven't seen her either. So what was the point? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So what was the point?
That's my
Why not
point.
release them both?
That's my point. Why you keeping one who already couldn't get over with the fans? You get rid of her partner, who was at least pleasing to the eyes, and now you're gonna leave this one just out.
Yeah.
To do what?
And with a division that's doing like literally nothing right now with the women's tag team division.
Exactly.
So after this whole thing with Bianca and Naomi and Jake, just get rid of them damn tag team titles. Get rid of them. So it's no point.
But then they just bring them back.
Get rid of them again.
They've been back for a while. Yeah, the
tag they do literally nothing, bro, in that division.
The tag title should have just been an NXT title, and that's it. And now that you have the two mid-card titles, you feud them for that. This
is WWE. They're supposed to be a big league, man.
This was terrible.
That's little league stuff.
I wouldn't I would have gotten rid of both, but if I had to pick one, it wouldn't have been this one. But again, with these releases, there's very few where I'm just like, here's the unfortunate part. In the grand scheme of things, is not going to matter because just like I said earlier, I wear a size 13 now, had to get rid of all the size 11s. They're bringing in new people. Where do you see her going though? I think she's TNA bound.
I can see that. Or she may go back to the UK. She may end up in what's that, Rare Pro or something like that.
So here's a question for both of y'all that I never asked y'all. A lot of these people that were released are like on work visas.
Okay, so that's why they got released. They got rid of these illegals.
But
they got rid of these poor. Hey.
Those that infiltrated WWE.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. And you know, with MAGA, it don't matter. They're gonna call you illegal regardless.
Well, they like these kind of illegals.
and
she's nice and European.
Yeah, and WWE will push your paperwork through quick. WWE gets your paperwork pushed through quick.
Yeah, WWE have a lot of international people on their payroll.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just in the grand scheme of things, though, because a lot of these guys are on like they're not like they don't have permanent residence. They have like work visas.
Yeah, they on work visa. Yeah.
Yeah, they have to be working. I think they can't go more than like 30 days without working.
Well, that cancels out AEW because they ain't no work over there at all.
So yeah. Once you get terminated,
Ask
you
Merle.
gotta go.
Ask Merle, who also got released.
Yeah, but he
finally.
wanted. It's not. Yeah, it's not like
finally.
It's not like they just fired him. But so
he's been getting paid all this time. Last 2 years.
So you think she'll go back to the UK?
Yeah, I can see that. She can go like the Rev Pro. What's that women's thing, Eve over there, and she'll go to something like that.
Mm.
And again, she has former WWE superstar on her name. Venkat, what's your knowledge of Isla Dawn?
It just doesn't work for me, brother.
No, none whatsoever.
All right,
no. Most of these NXT people don't mean anything to me.
But she's on the main roster for over a year.
Yeah, but I mean, where's she at? I didn't see her on any PLE. If you don't make the PLE,
former tag team champion, they won my worst match of the year.
Yeah, they won it. What was that? Clash of the Castle?
Yeah,
they won the title. Yeah.
Yeah, they beat Bianca and Jade. They won my worst match of the year.
Yeah, well, that was horrible. I forgot all about that match. I forgot all about that happening altogether. Yeah, they're trash. Yeah, this doesn't hurt anything. Those authors of pain, that hurts a lot. That's what hurts.
Wait,
this don't hurt anything.
Say that again, because my daughter don't realize when I'm doing something. Stop. What? All right, so let's all right, so Giovanni Vinci, I got a lot to say about this one. So Venkat, what's your thoughts on
no. Go to MD. I don't have any thoughts on this guy. I ain't got nothing on this dude.
MD,
they screwed him over, man.
Yes,
they screwed him over. Like again, he was, to me, when you looked at Imperium, he was the muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And Kaiser was the mouthpiece, and Gunther was the man. They once they got rid of him out of Imperium, I knew what, if the writing was on the wall. It's over. You know what I mean? If you're not gonna push him in a huge way, which they didn't, it's a wrap, man. It's a wrap. Coming out with the Gucci suit, bro. It's not working, man. It's not working. So I mean, yeah, I'm with Vankat. It's really not much you can say, like, at all. Which is unfortunate, you know what I mean? Because Imperium as a whole was good, you know. But it's bad to say, but maybe Gunther, like, he outlived Imperium. Unfortunate, you know what I mean? Unfortunate for them. But you know, Kaiser gonna be okay. Vinci is not.
So where do you see him going?
I don't know. That's the thing. Like you know, you mentioned it. It's good to have former WWE superstar or formerly known as on your resume. Without no substance to your resume, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And I don't. He wasn't able to build any substance in WWE. Not individually, he wasn't. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, so I see my time is at 1:59. I assure you I won't take more than 2 minutes on this. Here we go. I think this was one of the worst releases ever that they could have done. This is where I said that I was gonna obliterate Triple H. So they bring Imperium, they bring Gunther and Kaiser up to the main roster a couple of years ago, and you leave Vinci. which Vinci was a huge part of that group, because while Gunther was a singles champion in NXT, Vinci and Kaiser were NXT tag team champions, tearing up the division. So you break that group up, you bring Kaiser and Gunther over. Okay, whatever the problem is, you leave Fabian Eichner, because that's his name. You leave Fabian Eichner over in NXT. Remember, he was in the CWC. Tremendous wrestler. He lost so much weight to get down to the weight limit in order to be in that competition. This guy could do a standing springboard it like it's nobody's business. Freak athlete, fantastic wrestler. Everybody popped when, I forget what show it was, but Kaiser and Gunther are on the ramp, and then Vinci walks out. Everybody's like, oh God, thank you, Triple H. You righted another one of Vince McMahon's wrongs by bringing Vinci back to Imperium, where he belongs. Now Imperium is back at full power. Wonk wonk. That didn't last too long, because they end up having Kaiser beat the ever-loving shit out of this guy. Apparently it was because he had an injury. Okay, no harm, no foul. But why do you have his friend beat his ass to write him off? Because now you don't allow for a reunion to come back. So now they not only do they beat the shit out of the guy, now they transfer him over to SmackDown. Every week he has these vignettes. Oh, Vinci's coming. Vinci's coming. Vinci's coming. He's been coming so much, everybody should be pregnant by now. But that's beside the point. So this guy finally shows up. The re-debut of Giovanni Vinci in the Versace suit. And what does he do? 2 weeks in a row, he loses in under 30 seconds to perennial jobber Apollo Crews. And that, my friend, is how you not only ruin a tag team, but how you ruin a great international wrestler that could be money for you.
So doesn't this sound like all this praise for Triple H doing long-term booking, that he isn't doing long-term booking? He's just taking credit for something that just happens to work, and he doesn't really know what the hell he's doing. I'm
not saying he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm saying
I mean as far as the long-term booking aspect,
I think he's having some misses.
Oh, well, okay.
This is a miss. This is a huge miss. You don't ruin Imperium. You have right now a tag team division that's dying a death. You mean to tell me this division couldn't use an Imperium? This division couldn't use a team like Imperium? With that, okay, let Imperium be your tag team champions, because guess what? You got the best wrestler in the world, Gunther, as the world champion. This division couldn't use an Imperium, like, for real. He keeps saying how you want to put the emphasis back on tag team wrestling, and all I see is being done is the tag team division being pushed to the wayside. Hey, I agree. Let's get rid of the women's tag team titles, because that just doesn't matter. That's literally a prop on Bianca. It just doesn't work for me, brother. Literally a prop on Bianca and Bianca and Naomi. But you have 2 sets of tag team titles on both shows, and you're reducing the tag team division. And this guy, and the thing is, I'm gonna tell you, to me, MD, this guy's better than Kaiser. In ring wise, Kaiser is the better. Kaiser is the taller one.
He's a male piece.
WWE loves the tall guys, but this guy in ring is better than Kaiser, because this guy can do things that Kaiser can't do. Not only is
I can see that.
Not only is he a powerhouse, but he moves like a damn luchador. You couldn't give me a 10-minute match with him and Penta?
I can definitely see that. So yeah,
Why not make him go up against Gunther then?
Oh, come on, man.
What? Wait a minute. What are you saying that like that? Like he has no chance?
You remember when I asked you how come Kevin Sullivan couldn't be champion?
Shortness.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Now,
Is it really that bad? Is it really that bad?
I would have had Gunther be the one to beat him down, because at least at the very least, you could have been like, you know what? Kaiser didn't want to see it, but Gunther is the evil tyrant leader, and he's the one that did the beatdown. So he had to be subservient to Gunther. That way, you could have had it whereas if they were going to ever come back together, he has that in his back pocket. Like, hey, you never hit me. Like Jey Uso, I think with Jey Uso and Sami Zayn, I think they had it built in there that Jey Uso never really hit Sami Zayn. Like it was never Jey never caused Drew McIntyre the title because he wasn't allowed in those countries. So Drew's anger, they wrote it in storyline that Drew's anger was misplaced because Jey Uso never cost him the title because every time he lost, Jey was never there. He was never allowed in those countries. So, you know, it's just that little stuff, man. That bothered me to no end. But what you guys got on this?
Yeah, like I said, I agree, man. I can see your point. Like, you know, in ring capability, yeah, Giovanni Vinci is better. I think overall though, with what Ludwig Kaiser bring, like as far as, you know, cutting promos and presence, you know, that's what inched him out over Vinci. Like it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate, you know, but
Kaiser
we'll
is
see.
really
Hey,
good now. I'm not taking nothing.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you know, Ludwig Kaiser at some point will be a mid card champion at some point,
and he's absolutely going to turn on Gunther.
Yeah, so you know, I can definitely see him with the Intercontinental title at some point in time. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Like I said, I don't know what the future holds for Vince. I just don't. You know, it's bad, but you know, maybe again, he may go to the Indies and try to build himself up to eventually go to like maybe a TNA or AEW.
Yeah, I don't see him as an AEW guy. I see him probably going to Japan or going back home.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
And just as a sidebar, when you mentioned, you know, it probably should have been Gunther that did the turn, you know, that makes sense in context, but it looks like Gunther is basically riding Jay all the way to WrestleMania. Jay as a presence of trying to ride the storyline is not working. Gunther makes it work.
Oh, Gunther
like,
listen, Gunther is. Did you see what happened on Monday? Gunther, listen, I literally, whenever I see, because I didn't watch Monday Night Raw to the next day because I've been coming home so late. And I heard somebody reviewing it the next day, and I went and watched it the following day, and I just had a smile from ear to ear. Gunther starting out in the concourse to how he wants to see what it feels like for all the yeet, and he's doing the yeet, and it just, man, that guy, hey man, we better appreciate this guy because like it's literally when they say the perfect opponent, he is the perfect opponent for Jay. And what's to me, I mean, we'll get to WrestleMania when it comes, but what I'm thinking is Jay is going to be the hottest ever because of Gunther. They're going to have to build a monster factory for him after the fact because Gunther right now is completely carrying this. All Jay had to do right now is just come out and play the sympathetic role because Gunther can cut him to piss on the mic. Gunther could beat the shit out of him in the ring. He beat him all over the arena, and Jay just keeps on coming back. My only thing is WrestleMania is 10 weeks away. They're gonna have to either cool it down some or they're gonna have to do an injury angle because you can't do this for 10 weeks straight. Somebody may have to get written off for a little bit. But you know, we'll see when that shows up.
And are we going to see a championship match in between? Like possibly will we see? Well, I don't think we're going to do none at Elimination Chamber because that's too,
Elimination Chamber is set.
Yeah, so you know, are we going to see I ain't not necessarily another feud, but something in regards to what Gunther is going to do between now and Mania. So we'll see. We'll see.
I think there's another Saturday night. I think there's another Saturday night main event coming up in between that. And speaking of Elimination Chamber, that's the next time we'll be back with you guys. Saturday, March 1st for the Elimination Chamber watch along. You see,
what time is that Elimination Chamber?
It's in Canada, so it's probably 6. Yeah, it's probably at 6.
I'll be at work.
I mean, but that's when it starts. That ain't the main event. You know, we only watch the main event.
Yeah.
Oh, you work on Saturdays now?
Yeah, they switched it. I get out at 7:30. It's gonna take me at least 40 minutes to get home.
God damn, you work that far?
Yeah, I don't think you should be back in time for the
You'll be
men's
back for the main
elimination.
event. Yeah, you'll definitely be back for the main event. Well, we don't know what the main event's gonna be.
Exactly. They can open the show with the damn Elimination Chamber.
We're assuming it's going to be the men's Elimination Chamber, but the way they did it on Monday Night Raw, it looks like they may end the show with the lights out match. I mean, because if you're having a lights out unsanctioned match, why wouldn't you have that close the show?
Yeah, and it's Toronto, so you might be right.
Canada. But if John Cena's winning that chamber, which I hope he doesn't, I don't see them not closing the show with that. I really don't see them not closing the show with that. But you know, we'll see how it goes leading up to it. But yeah, this was complete bullshit. Okay, man, it took a while, but now we got a black guy on here. Man, you talk about a guy that just can't get over with the crowd is Cedric Alexander. I mean, you hard pressed to find a better wrestler than him, but the crowd doesn't give a shit about this guy at all. And that's the problem. His wife on Twitter is more over than he is. I remember my first time seeing him was at the CWC when he fought the Chinaman. He was so good that when he lost, the fans were like, please sign Cedric, please sign Cedric. Triple H came out and signed him on the spot because the match was so great. His biggest claim to fame in WCW, in WWE, I want to say he was a cruiserweight champion at one point. I'm not sure. He may have been the cruiserweight champion, but he definitely was tag team champions in the Hurt Business with Shelton Benjamin. But besides that, just Black Wrestler X, just floating around, mired in the mid card. Fantastic wrestler, but just can't connect. I mean, even when they sent him back to NXT, he was not connecting with anybody. And everybody can get over in NXT because look at the black kid they got in NXT. The guy that calls himself, what he said, Too Saucy or something like that, Javon Evans. They love him over there, and that guy's a pencil. But he connects with the fans. I'm shocked Cedric Alexander never could connect with the fans, but he'll be in AEW once his 90 days is up. That's no questions asked. I think they're already dropping hints that he's going to be a new member of the what they call the Hurt Syndicate.
Hurt Syndicate, yeah.
So
now let me push back on that though, Trail. Let me push back on that. We know Tony Khan holds grudge. We know this for a fact.
Oh yeah, Big Swole.
Big Swole laid in on Tony Khan at AEW. Laid in on him. Will Tony Khan hold a grudge?
Yes, because Bobby Lashley will make him.
Well, we'll see.
we know
it only makes sense.
Yeah,
for him to go to AEW.
We know one thing about Tony Khan, he ain't pushing back. And Bobby Lashley is a legit bona fide star. And if he says bring this guy in, then he's going to bring that guy in. But yeah, I thought about that with the whole Big Swole situation because she literally accused him of being racist.
Yeah. I mean, it fit like a glove. He need to be there.
Yeah,
in the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, I mean those 500 people in the building will receive him. He's a fantastic wrestler. Like that
lumbar check is off the chain.
Yeah, man, when he do that lung blower, like that is like the baddest thing. You talk about Roderick Strong being the Messiah of the backbreaker. Like this guy hit you with a lung blower. man, you like, whoa. Yeah, this guy is awesome, man. I forget who the Chinaman is that he wrestled in the CWC. I think it wasn't Kota Ibushi. That's who he was. And that match was phenomenal. That's when I think that's when I first saw him. That's the first time I saw both of them. Because I'd never watched New Japan or whatever he was in. So when I saw that, I'm like, man, this is crazy. And then they had Daniel Bryan and Nigel McGuinness on commentary, just blowing the thing up. I'm like, oh my God, this was tremendous. I actually got to go back and watch the CWC. I wonder, is it still on the network? Is it on Peacock? I got to check and see, because that was fantastic.
It should be.
So yeah, AEW bound. Venkat, I know you know about Cedric Alexander.
A little bit.
So
a little bit.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on him?
Well, you guys are saying he had a problem connecting with the audience. I just know that Triple H is having a problem connecting with black people. So I don't know if I'm putting this all on him. I just feel like Triple H, he has a lot to do with putting guys in the right spot. And if he's showing a tendency to not be interested in following through with the black wrestlers on his roster, then that could be part of the reason. I don't know if that makes it any better if he goes to AEW and go with what's the name? Tony Khan, because Tony Khan kind of has the same kind of issues when it comes to black people as well. But at least he has people in the Hurt Syndicate that'll watch out for him. So that's probably a better situation for him overall. And the fact that he's good in ring, that audience of AEW appreciates the in-ring product a lot more than WWE's fans. So it's a good move if that's the move. We don't know. But if that's the move.
That's the move. So let me ask you a question then. How come Trick Williams has no problem getting over with the crowd?
Hey, it doesn't mean it's an all or nothing. So he's an exception to the rule.
How come Obafemi has no problem getting over with the crowd?
Wait, okay, that's just two people, Trevor. Come on now.
How come Montez
don't do that.
How come Montez Ford has no problem getting over the crowd?
No.
I'm just saying because you saying Triple H put him in a bad position.
He did.
I'm saying he put himself in a bad position. He can't get over. That's the problem. He don't connect to the fans. He does not connect. He doesn't connect.
Who came up with it? Who came up with his gimmick persona? Who's telling him what to say in his promos?
He doesn't. But I'm giving you all these black wrestlers that actually connect.
If Malenko and all these guys was vanilla midget, he's a chocolate.
He's a chocolate midget. He's a chocolate midget minus the nuts. He is plain as you can get. He like that dollar store chocolate. Man, he's generic, man. He's generic.
I understand charisma matters in wrestling, but just like Gordon Shirley said, what's on the marquee is wrestling. So why I don't understand how a guy that could bring it in the ring isn't capable of being worked with to get him to a place to where he can at least. I mean, again, like you mentioned, Dean Malenko and whatnot. Dean Malenko ain't trying to be a sports entertainer to that degree, like all these other guys making a buffoon of himself. There's no nonsense wrestling over there. So not every wrestler has to be a goofball and be an entertainer. A lot of these guys, they wrestle. So why is it for him, the world has to crash down on him because he's wrestling good, but he's not maybe charismatic enough? Like there are a lot of non-charismatic wrestlers that made it big in the industry. So I don't know.
I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, where does that type of wrestler fit in the current WWE?
Well, that goes back to Triple H. Triple H is the big man. He's supposed to be able to answer those questions and plan accordingly. He should know that there's going to be people on the roster like
that.
this.
Goes to the fans. The fans have to accept him.
The fans ain't going to accept something if he's not conveyed or packaged properly to them. Is what he's doing in WWE an authentic thing that he believes in? Is there any part of him in whatever character he's trying to display? It depends.
Well,
a lot of this stuff is not straightforward like that. There's a lot of intangibles that go with it.
Well,
but I'm just saying, if you're a wrestler and you do wrestling really good, you already got more than 50%. I would say that's 75% of the game right there. You got the wrestling, you good. Now you just need to incorporate little things here and there to get attention on yourself. But you got the game right there. Like if you're a basketball player that don't know how to dribble, you got problems. I don't care how charismatic you are. You got problems.
Angel Reese don't seem to have a problem with that.
Who?
Angel Reese.
You go with this guy, but Triple H, man, it's problematic to me. I don't think he's putting these guys in a lot of these black wrestlers in position to. I don't think everybody needs to be The Rock or these other phenomenal talents. You should be able to find your niche somewhere in here, and I don't think he does a great job of trying to do that. What's the New Day been doing? I haven't been hearing anything about it.
The New Day is
the New Day getting heat, man.
Man, the New Day got more heat than Dirty Dom. Like it's crazy. they can't even open their mouths without getting booed out the building.
But they're not on PLE though. To me, that's the bar. That's the bar right there. The PLE is like the
PLE is only five match cards.
Exactly. Right. So if you make WrestleMania, they could have been on Royal Rumble. They could have been in Royal Rumble. They weren't there. So there's no excuse. You got a 30-man roster right there. They didn't make it. That's what I'm saying. The PLE is like the playoffs. And if you're not making the
WCW though, Van Cat, we just can't display talent.
Yeah,
with the amount of time that we got now.
About 14 people that they fired because they ain't got a spot for them. Everybody can't make it.
Yeah, I think it's hogwash, man. They getting rid of people for no reason. Reason.
Now I will say this: out of everybody that we mentioned so far, I think we all gonna agree on the last people that this was ridiculous.
The pain, man.
But everybody that we've shown, nobody was like, "Oh my goodness, bro, that was a terrible fight." Outside of me and Giovanni Vinci, and that's just because Imperium was my favorite team.
Well, what about Corbin? You didn't.
Well, and Corbin, but for the overwhelming of this list, we just like hell. For them, you didn't even know who they were. That's what I'm saying. They have too many people. They got too many people.
But they knew they had too many people when they hired them. Why hire them if that was the case?
Because when they hired them in 2020, it was a war to keep them. Each company was hiring them from keeping them from the other company. Both companies were doing it.
That's ridiculous.
But hey, that's what both companies were doing. Hey, I'm gonna hire him so you can't get to him. I think the next team coming up on the list is a Yep, there we go. The Good Brothers. Again, they got brand new contracts. I think it was 2020. Yeah, they got brand new contracts in 2020. $750,000 base, and we're probably fired.
Not it's each, right? Not
each.
Oh, okay, each.
And we're probably fired this team that probably wrestled. You probably saw them on TV 10 times for that year. Got brand new contracts, and were promptly fired not too long after that. They went. Where did they go, MD? They went back to TNA, or they went to Japan?
Yeah, they went to TNA.
So they went to TNA. They brought them back, and now they promptly fired them again. I don't think I saw the Good Brothers on TV. What, all of 2024? If I saw them on TV 6 times, that didn't include AJ Styles, I'd be shocked. I would be shocked.
Yeah, they was involved in that whole thing with AJ and Michin and yeah, it wasn't good what they were doing.
Yeah, and
So
AJ turned on them.
yeah.
They sent him to NXT, so to shine some of those guys up. But again, in a division where you need tag teams, why not? Why not keep these guys around? To bolster your tag team division. I'm just saying.
Does Triple H even like tag team wrestling? It seemed.
And hey, I thought he did,
I mean,
but
he was a tag team wrestler himself. I mean, what the hell?
He getting that Vince McMahon spirit now. Vince McMahon hated tag team wrestling.
Oh boy,
man, kind of making me think with some of these moves that Vince might be. Well, no, but
influencing it in the background.
Yeah, but Vince is completely. But he owns a lot of stock in the company still. But I don't know, man. Some of this stuff to me feels like a lot of Vince-isms because you can't be one way and then all of a sudden just pivot. Triple H loves tag team wrestling, and now all of a sudden is like, oh man, I got no time for the tag team division. When you have you got two sets of tag team titles. That's what I'm saying. Well, first of all, you shouldn't have two sets of titles. You should have one set of titles, but a strong tag team division, and just have everybody chasing for the title. Again, that's where you need that's where you need top 10 lists. So the guys have to wrestle certain people, and you move up and down. That's why it should be. Shouldn't be two sets of titles. But that's where we are. But here's another hiring and another firing. These guys weren't on TV at all last year. I don't think they're AEW bound. I think they're going back to TNA. But again, here again to that question. Is this one of those like hush hush, we're going to get rid of them, you keep them on your roster for us? Because that's what this seems like. Because you have Dolph Ziggler and his brother are literally, if it didn't already happen, is happening this week, are literally challenging the NXT champions for the tag titles. So you get the best of both worlds. You get your former world champion in Ziggler and his brother to wrestle your champions, not being under contract by you.
Sheesh.
I think this TNA deal is a lot more than what we're looking into. I think this is going to be like one of them things where, hey, I need to send a guy here for a while, less finagle him. You know what this is like? ECW. Hey, we'll give you some promotion, and Vince McMahon, I'll pay your bills and get you out of debt. That's exactly what this seems like to me. That's what this is coming off like.
Or mid 90s NWA, something like that, when they were in, the whole Cornette and yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. I don't see, Gallows, it should be winding it down here soon. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, his knees are shot.
So yeah, I mean, Carl Anderson, he can still go, but I don't see a place for them in a place like AEW. I don't see what they would be able to do. I mean, hell, that's another division that's dwindling when it comes to the tag teams. But I don't think Anderson and Gallows are helping. So I can see them going back to TNA, and then that'll probably be where where they wind it down at.
And AEW's tag team division used to be so great.
Yeah, hell, maybe they might do another run in Japan. Who knows? They might do some Bullet Club. So I don't know. But I don't see a situation where they feel like they want to go and have like a one last ride type situation. They probably gonna ride somewhere and that's that. They done. You know what I'm saying? They done had a good career. So we'll see.
Yeah, it just seemed to me like, just as a whole, tag team wrestling is just dying all over the place. Like, you don't really hear. It's like there's not really a premium on tag team wrestling. And to me, man, your tag team wrestling is really where it's at. Like, tag team wrestling is I mean.
Well, the Motor City Machine Guns, they tried to hype them up a little. So that's the only like little flair for tag team wrestling is when they came in.
But why not?
The SmackDown division is okay. Raw is struggling.
Yeah, why not just build them? Why not get rid of a set of tag team titles and consolidate everything? You know what? I'm almost willing to say one show should have
Tag teams.
yeah, like one show got the IC title, one show got the US title. One show should have the tag team titles, and that's it. And that's all we focus on.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'd put the tag teams just strictly on SmackDown, especially with that third hour. I mean, like that shit is unwatchable. You got to put. I don't know why they decided to go to a third hour. Raw is perfect because Raw, even though it's a 3-hour show, never goes 3 hours. Those shows going like 2.5 hours, and it's fast paced, and it's just go, and it's just, it's so enjoyable. So yeah, I would put all the tag teams on SmackDown. I would, and I thought that at one point they were talking about doing that. So this was another shocker. And not that she's any good, because again, she's not really good. But this wasn't more so released. This was just like, hey, we're not going to renew your contract. But what was shocking about this is like she's literally on TV every week as the leader of what they call PFC. I was about to say so. I was like,
Pure Fusion Collective.
I'm gonna still say it. The Carpet Munching Club. They weren't. I haven't seen them on TV the past few weeks, but they were on TV every week, and she was their mouthpiece. And they just didn't. They just told her they weren't renewing her contract, and that's just it. Again, she's not. If you ask me, hey, ask me one good Sonya Deville match, I can't tell you, and that's including NXT. I liked her in Tough Enough. I always thought she had a good look. The MMA thing, she was always like hair up or square up. I always liked that, but she just never was really good. The best thing about her is when she was with Mandy Rose.
Yeah. She got a good look, man. That's for sure. I remember when they was doing that whole angle when she was with Dolph Ziggler and trying to build Dolph back up. That really didn't go anywhere. The whole situation where the dude was stalking her and she left for a while, and I think that's what jacked her up. I think ever since then, because she lost a lot of momentum after that, and she tried to come back, and they did the whole thing with when she was like in the general manager role, and it just I don't know what the situation was where she couldn't wrestle. I don't know. But yeah, she just lost a lot of steam, man, and they definitely tried to either get heat back on her or build her back up. It just never worked. Because like you said, Trev, she on TV every week. It ain't like they ain't got nothing for her to do. So this may have been a mutual agreement.
Yeah, because she wasn't released. They just aren't really.
Yeah.
Her contract is up in like a few days or weeks, and they just aren't renewing it.
Yeah. I believe it may have been a mutual agreement. They shoot like, hey man, like, maybe, this is what it is. I want to do something different. They said, okay, we're not going to, renew your contract or whatnot. She might be done with wrestling, to be honest.
Yeah.
She might go and do something else.
Yeah, because there's modeling pics out there of her, like underwear model and stuff like that. So I mean, hell, she might follow her buddy Mandy Rose's footsteps.
Yeah.
And jump on OnlyFans. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, but yeah, with this one, yeah, she might be done. She might be done.
And you know what? There's a better version of this group in NXT with JC Jane and Fallon Henley and that group. There's a much better version of this group in NXT. So I feel like they're like, man, this is really expendable. We got JC Jane being her 100 times better. So because I like JC Jane. I don't like the fact that they broke her and Gigi Dolan up, but you could hear the misogyny in Trevor's voice. But I think, yeah, the I forget their name in NXT, but they're so much better than this group. So much better. They do this so much
Hell,
better.
another one need to be asking for a release is Shayna. Like Shayna need to get out of there, man. Like,
Shayna just signed a new contract.
oh wow. Well, she must be. I don't know because what they got her doing is crazy. Like
Shayna's
that.
like
This is insane.
Shayna's getting up there in age too. She's getting up there. You would think that she'd start transitioning into a trainer role.
Yeah. Well, would you call? Well, I know you would call her main roster run disappointing.
Disappointed. When she
Yeah.
debuted to attack Becky Lynch and she bit her on the back of the neck, I'm like, man, Vince McMahon, you killed her dead right on her debut night. She should have, and then they tried to remedy it by having her beat everybody up in the elimination chamber. But by that time, the damage was already done, only for her to end up losing to Becky at WrestleMania. Then for Becky to come out the next night and say, hey, I'm giving up the title because I'm knocked up. So it's just like it killed everything. Completely killed everything. And she's never recovered. Her best run was in NXT when she was the unbeatable champion. And I love the story with her and Dakota Kai when she used to bully Dakota Kai, and then peace, Anthony. And then Dakota Kai finally fought her way back, and they had this fantastic match. I mean, she still beat her, but it was just like Dakota Kai finally standing up to her. So I love that storyline. But hey, man, some people just don't work. I mean, she's another one that the crowd never got into, even though she was brutal. The main roster crowd just never got into her. I don't know why. They gave her a crazy elimination streak. They had her eliminate every single person in the elimination chamber, and nothing. The crowd just was like, whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I say because she's not a pretty enough lesbian, but yeah. I mean,
yeah, she definitely looked weird.
Yeah, she not. I remember one time she told a guy on Twitter she get more tail than him. That was funny. But yeah. Oh yeah, Anthony, we're gonna get to it. That's why I'm trying to get through the list. I think we got like two more. You didn't hear my thing at the beginning. I said, I wear size 13 shoes, so I had to get rid of all my size 11s and 12s. So they're making room for new talent. It is what it is. That's what they're doing. So Venkat, what you got on Daria Bernardo? That's her name, Daria.
I mean, nothing that you guys ain't already said. I have no interest in her at all. When I see her, they had that spot in the Royal Rumble. Nothing there for me to say. Not too into them.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I like her look though. I like her look. Are you saying she looks a little butch? Yeah, Shayna looks, and then Shayna doesn't even try to make herself look pretty at all. At least Zoe, makes herself up and stuff. She still looks like a woman. Shayna,
now I thought Zoe Stark was married. I thought I read something saying she was married to like a guy.
Okay, well, I don't want to put this out there then, but
she looked butchy. I ain't gonna front on that.
Oh no, I heard that all of them are
Shayna Baszler is horrible.
Or lipstick. They go Venkat, boy. He don't miss. Hey, Venkat ain't gonna miss a chance to shit on someone.
I'm just saying, it's just rough. Like she don't give a damn. She's just coming.
She got a big booty though. So in probably the worst release ever. If you think I was pissed at the Giovanni Vinci release, this is the one I'm mad at. Again, this is almost like the Good Brothers. They pre-COVID, remember, they were shining them up with Seth Rollins. They were like Seth Rollins, henchmen, and they were getting that group going. Then they fired them. They brought them back, and then the story came out that Paul Ellering didn't want to be on the road. Paul Ellering came out and was like, hey, that's not true. Vince McMahon just didn't want me with them. So they got released again. All of a sudden, the Final Testament thing came out, and they come back, And I'm like, oh yeah, finally, AOP is going to finally get a run. These are two legit badasses, former NXT champions, legit MMA fighters. So these guys take no bullshit, no nonsense. You can look up their fights online. They come back with Paul Ellering. I never forget the most disrespectful night in wrestling. They beat American Alpha for the NXT titles, and Paul Ellering walked out on the stage, and the NXT crowd start chanting in unison, "Who are you?" That was the night that I hated all wrestling fans, and I've never been able to forgive them for that, because I think that was disrespectful, and no wrestling fan should not know who Paul Ellering is. But they hit him with they Thanos snapped them basically. They got rid of all three of them at one shot. So they got rid of the Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering. They absolutely are going to show up in AEW. I think Paul Ellering actually hinted at that on his Twitter account, that once their 90 days are up, you'll see them popping up real soon. This team was too good. Big men, big bruisers. They got that move, the Super Collider, that could really, really hurt somebody, and they just let them go. Never gave them a chance. They came back dominant, beating up everybody. They had the feud with the YS6, and then it killed them dead. They had the feud with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits at WrestleMania. They lost there too. They lost more than they won, and then you just never saw them on TV. Just a travesty. Just a travesty. Another fantastic team just gone by the wayside.
Yeah, 100%, man. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying this is a crying shame right here. And like Trevor said, the fans disrespecting Paul Ellering. That I wonder if that also weighed on Triple H's mind. You know, man, I don't know, but this is just ridiculous. I mean, we've been talking the whole show about the lack of tag team wrestling and tag teams in general, and you got one that you out the box ready to go. You don't even need to add water. It's ready to go. It's already ready to go. And
hey, Venkat, imagine a feud with them and the Viking and the War Raiders.
That's what I'm saying.
Imagine what that would look like. These guys against Big Ivar.
So they have things that they can do. It's not like they have them and they don't got nowhere to go with it. There's stuff that you can do with these guys, but I don't know. Triple H just probably just disinterested, or maybe he's just too preoccupied with all the other things that he has going on with the Bloodline and Seth Rollins and The Rock and Cody, and maybe he's just not caring about that. I thought Triple H was a man that was the game, and he's all into the whole game of wrestling and understanding the history of wrestling and wanting to preserve the tradition. But these guys, I guess, ain't moving him, or he just don't have time. They're just not in his mind like that. But it's a shame tag team wrestling suffering like this.
You know what they need to do? Triple H needs to just be the booker and just be the damn booker, and that's it. Don't worry about the gate. That's what you have the other guy for. What's his name? Rich Khan, not Tony Khan, Nick Khan.
Right. That's true. That's true.
That's what you have Nick Khan for. Let him handle all the business stuff.
And why? This is one other thing I got. I wanted to say this earlier, but I didn't get to say it. But like the Rock coming out on two back-to-back shows, and virtually he admitted in the promos he really had nothing to say, and he took up 30 minutes at a pop. NXT took up close to 30 minutes there as well, and it's like it's a bunch of back tapping, like literally the modern day Barry Horowitz tapping his own back. He wasn't around for most of this crap. Well, did The Rock even show up during COVID at all once? It seemed like Roman Reigns was the one that was there, and all these other guys that were putting in the work when it wasn't so pretty. And now the lights done got brighter, and they have all these statistical wins as far as money and attendance and all this other stuff. And he just shows up just smiling and grinning. And that imagery of The Rock buddying when they're con and they're hugging and they're tapping their back and all this other crap, along with the bragging about the gates and all this stuff. And then on top of all that, you're going to have all this money and then you cut guys like this, the authors of pain. There's just something just so like not right about it. Like goes against everything. At least like people like me that watch NWA or watch old world class wrestling and AWA and stuff like that. You just was watching wrestling and like this just feels like big money conglomerate, big business corporation type nonsense. And I get with that. I can't stand it. Just give me my goddamn wrestling and get the hell out the way. I don't need to see Triple H coming out at the beginning of a show. I don't need to see Stephanie McMahon coming out at the beginning of the show and them boasting and grandstanding and all this other nonsense. Get the hell off. Get to the matches and let the guys that people paid to want to see do their thing so that we can see that. We didn't come to see Triple H. We didn't come to see Stephanie. So, that's just my little rant there.
So Anthony says Triple H is trying to be like Vince in a way where Vince was worried about everything, booking the live gate at the arena ticket sales, the viewerships, and the streamers. So yeah, he has too much on his plate. So now this is funny because one of my very first 5-count shows that I did, one of my top 5 things was Triple H is overshadowing his talent. Like, I didn't like the fact that he came out at the beginning of every show, like Venkat saying, and was getting these crazy receptions. And I'm just like, bro, at some point you're gonna have to lay back and let your talent do everything. You're overshadowing your talent. And it's just funny that it looks like that's what's coming up, because hey, listen, I admit I heaped a bunch of praise on it. Hey, listen, man, to me, coming off of Vince McMahon, you got a lot to fix. And I just think that right now he needs somebody to help. I see they named the Road Dogg as the head booker of SmackDown, and it's funny, people were shitting on it, and AJ Styles posted a tweet. I didn't get to screenshot it, but he was like, hey, you try booking the show and you got somebody changing the show 10 minutes before this, basically talking about Vince McMahon. So he was like, Road Dogg will be fine. So we'll see how that goes. MD, what do you think thoughts on Authors of Pain?
Yeah, man. Again, going back to Raw, and I want to say Raw specifically because that's where the Final Testament was at for a majority of that time. Bro, in a dwindling tag team division, how do you not have AOP featured as one of the leading tag teams in that division? This is crazy. Like, I don't know what else to say. With the Final Testament in and of itself, you got Cross. I mean, Cross, incredible on the mic.
Yeah.
You ain't got him doing nothing else but talking on the mic. And you got, Ellering and AOP behind him, like literally doing nothing for the majority of 2024. This is crazy. It did nothing to push, Karrion Kross further because like literally you just had him in backstage segment, literally along with everybody else in the Final Testament. How can you not, at the very least, have AOP in the tag team picture during all of this going on? This is crazy. I don't know what to say. Like, I honestly don't.
Wouldn't you want to see them against the War Raiders?
That'll be incredible. We know it'll be incredible.
Or hell, them against the Motor City Machine Gun, which again is why every tag team should be on one show. Can you imagine them? I don't know if you remember. I don't know how far you go back, but my first viewing of AOP was against a team called in NXT for the finals of the Dusty Cup was against a team called like TM16 or something. It's like the Mighty Die Young or some team. I think something happened to one of the guys in the team, and they ended up firing them. But they was a small team like the Motor City Machine Guns, but they worked so well together. Alpha Academy versus and it's funny seeing just Jason Jordan now. He's a full-blown agent. I guess he'll never wrestle again because of the neck injury, but it's funny to see him come out there and break up fights and stuff. But Chad Gable and Jason Jordan against these guys at NXT takeovers, man, these guys are friggin' awesome. When you have your world champion is Gunther, who don't lose. You have Braun Breaker, who doesn't look okay, TMTK. Okay, that was the name of the group. What does that stand for, Anthony? Is it like the mighty? I thought it was like the Mighty Dies Young or some shit like that. I don't know. Tell me what did that stand for? But your world champion is Gunther. Your IC champion is Braun Breaker, who doesn't lose. Your women's champion is Rhea Ripley, who she ain't losing. Wouldn't it be great to have a set of tag team champions like this that's just dominant? And you just have them beat up everybody. And then you had that one scrappy underdog team that, hey, guess what? Starts at number 10 and works their way up the list to finally get that tag team title match. And they knock off the Mighty Heels. I mean, if I'm sitting here in my damn foyer of my house recording this video, can just think of that off the top of my head. I mean, you guys is making $5 million a year to book this shit. Surely is easy enough for you. This is ridiculous, man. This is man. I hope wherever they go that they kill it, man, because there ain't no way in the hell this team. Okay, it is the mighty don't kneel. That's what it is. It's crazy. This is egregious. This is absolutely egregious. This is terrible. This is terrible.
Yeah, I agree, man. And like I said, they can go to AEW right now and instantly put some legitimacy on that tag team division.
I'd have them go to AEW and beat the shit out of the Hurt Syndicate.
That's premier right there.
First night. Just go in there and destroy them. First night. I mean, hell,
and that makes sense because hell, they trying to make the Hurt Syndicate as this top heel group. It ain't working because the crowd putting them over. You know what I'm saying? So that would definitely make sense if you want to put the heat on somebody else. Then yeah, that 100%. Because it don't look like the Hurt Syndicate that is gonna work out as heels. It just don't.
Yeah, nah, sorry, because everybody love Bobby Lashley, man. I'd have them go in there and beat the shit out of it. I'm talking about don't go in there and have no 50-50 match. I'm talking about go in there and destroy them. And then you have the Hurt Syndicate because the Hurt Syndicate beats everybody up. So at some point, you're going to want to see them fight from behind. You had these guys go in there and destroy them and then have them work their way back up to finally dethrone them. That's money. That can main event a show.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm afraid, sidebarring off of that, I'm afraid that with this whole thing with Kenny Omega and Ospreay, they might try to put the belts on them at some point. I hope not, because it looked like they're going to try to long-term book that all the way to August to All In.
Okay, well, how about this? Have these guys beat the shit out of the Hurt Syndicate and then have Omega and Ospreay dethrone them.
I can go with that.
Hey,
but
you could run a political gimmick with this one. Look at their skin complexion.
Yeah, man. But yeah, they should definitely go to AEW. Like I said, it'll legitimize that tag team division like instantly. I mean, the Hurt Syndicate is doing it now, but they need more competition. That's definitely. So yeah, I can see that. But yeah, it's a travesty, man. It's a travesty what happened to him, bro.
Yeah, that one pissed me off. And okay, so well, she obviously didn't get released, but now again, sometimes you make room because now you're bringing in new people to the roster. So Jordan Grace did sign a full-time contract with the WWE. Wait, this is Johnny's question. How about pairing them up with Lance Archer? Okay, so have them go to AEW and team up with Archer. Archer was supposed to be a big deal, and he never panned out. I don't know. I think that'll kind of be a downgrade for them. Just had them go there and just do their own thing. So Jordan Grace is part of the WWE roster. So that's another new talent that they signed. Last Tuesday on NXT, Ricky Starks made his debut, and he signed his contract last night. I think he's going by like Ricky Sane or something like that. So he just came out in the crowd, just randomly just came out in the crowd. Rumor is Malachi Black is going to be showing up soon. Miro was recently released. So I'm looking for Miro to show up soon. So, I mean, I don't think outside of like AOP. So what I'm saying is the people that were released, I wouldn't not let them go at the risk of bringing one of these guys in. I put it that way, with the exception of AOP. Like, you know, I went off on the Vinci thing because you shouldn't have broke up Imperium in the beginning, but AOP was the most egregious loss on that list. Like, there's no way that team, I mean, they could have been your tag teams. Listen, simple as this. WWE loves big moments. The way you built up Sami Zayn and KO to take the belts from the Usos, that's how you could have built a tag team up to take the belts from AOP. They could have just destroyed everybody, and then you build them up for a big pay-per-view to take the belts from them. I mean, it's crazy. Honestly, I think Anna Jay is going to WWE. Anna Jay, I feel like I heard that name before. That's an AEW chick, huh?
Yeah, that's the chick who was in the what was she in? The Jericho Appreciation Society.
Okay. So what do you guys think about so Ricky Starks and Jordan Grace are signed, but you know, rumor is Malachi Black will be up soon and Miro. So what do you guys think about the possible new additions? Well, two of them aren't possible. We know they're already there.
I just want to see Miro get back into a higher level. I mean, he's been sidelined for so long. They could do more with him. I mean, that's just wasting a talent that shouldn't be wasted at this point. So it'll be good to see him come in and hopefully shakes things up in a way that matters. Get him involved in something that'll be actually worth seeing. I mean, Cody Rhodes could have used that as a guy going after Cody Rhodes.
So I was about to say have him put Cody in the accolade, but I think I like the direction they're going in with Cody because it looks like it's leaning to him and Jacob Fatu. Looks like that's where they're going, but I wouldn't mind seeing Miro choke Cody out.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Or hell, didn't when Malachi Black debuted in AEW, didn't he beat up Cody? Wasn't that his first victim?
Hey, might as well repeat it.
I think that was it. When he debuted, I think he attacked Cody, if I'm not mistaken. I think when everybody debuted, they attacked Cody. That was a fucking thing. And then he says, I said it'd be crazy to see Miro versus Breaker. Oh man, Braun Breaker is just freaking awesome. So
that would be a match right there to see.
You think they're gonna call? They won't call him Miro though. He's gonna go back to Rusev.
Yeah,
because that's where
he'll be Rusev.
Yeah, he's gonna go back to Rusev. That's where.
Now, is anybody gonna remember Rusev?
Oh hell yeah, man! Once you hear, hey, listen, man. I thought he was gonna come at the Royal Rumble, but he wasn't released yet. When the crowd is silent and you hear that Rusev Mashka, Rusev, whatever the next line, man, they gonna go crazy and they gonna start chanting Rusev Day, Rusev Day.
Well, now I will say that Redeemer gimmick in AEW, that was fire. That the Redeemer gimmick was good. I'm not saying that he got to be Miro. He can still be Rusev. But I like that whole Redeemer thing. You know what I'm saying? It was tight.
He should go in as his real name and drop all the gimmicks and just be him. I mean, didn't he have like like a social media thing or whatever, like following him and his wife and
Yeah, they got divorced.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying, like, it's been so long, and all this, information on the wrestling fans know who he is. So instead of playing that role, start off fresh, be real, and lean in on more some reality stuff. That's what I think. Let that Rusev stuff go, man, because it's not. It's so much time has passed. It's not even relevant right now.
They can't because they can't copyright Miro. They can't.
Well, is Miro his real name?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, whatever his real name is, go with that.
Yeah, I think he has a weird name. I don't think his name is Miro. He has a weird name. With a guy like Miro working Imperium. But you know what? Then that'll be saddling him with what they had him in with the League of Nations. Yeah, I agree with Vane. He literally needs to just come in and just be an ass kicker. So I would love to see him come in and like after a match he just destroys Cody. I mean, like make him bleed and then bust him up and everything.
Yeah.
Just destroy him. Just leave him there laying. Because right there, before he set you up for the accolade, he would always step in your back. Just imagine what that would look like. Is he puts that foot up and steps in your back and then put the accolade on him. That would be great. That would be great. But
yeah, after WrestleMania, Cody needs to be done with the blood. I don't want to see no more Cody bloodline stuff.
Well, they need to find a way. They're looking like it's looking like they're somehow heading to Cody and Fatu, and Fatu needs to beat him. But this is interesting though, because I don't know is John Cena going to win, because the winner of the Chamber gets Cody, so I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't and Fatu's not in the Chamber.
John Cena ain't winning nothing. I think John Cena's story is good to make you feel like he's gonna win it because it's the end. John Cena's a smoke screen. He ain't winning nothing. If he wins anything, it'll be later on in the year, like SummerSlam.
He's here for all the 2025s.
Right. They're not gonna do that right now. You're gonna have him win it right now, and then 2 weeks later he's gonna lose it. They're gonna do it towards the end of the year when it's coming down to the end, when there's pressure. There's no pressure right now.
And they're already, the rumors, they already have a pay-per-view that they're naming the Cody Bloodline storyline has been over beyond booked. Yeah, overbooked. Yeah. I need to see, can I get this back on Facebook too? I meant to try that. I would love to see Miro just come in and just destroy him. But listen, I'm not opposed to Jacob Fatu beating Cody for that belt. I am not opposed to that at all. Like, not at all. Y'all know, y'all call me a Cody crybaby and this and that. You call me what you want. But if Jacob Fatu, that guy is friggin' a monster, and everything he does just works. And I love that they're letting him get the mic back and just start cutting promos. So that's great. But his real name is Miroslav Petrov Branashev. Okay, I guess I know I butchered that one, but all right, fellas. Well, we come to the end. Next time we'll be back in your homes. Will be March 1st. That's 2 weeks from today. March 1st, Saturday, March 1st, for the Elimination Chamber live watch along. Depending on what time the show starts, then that's when we'll start the show. But it's always for the main event. Sometime I may come on earlier, just depending on how the card is, just to start the show earlier. But we'll definitely be on for the main event. So, what you guys got coming up Tuesday?
Tuesday on TFP, we got the real black response to Nazis should always be.
Oh boy.
That's what it is. So you mess with the wrong niggas and it don't go down too well. So it's Black History Month, so You can't have Black history without Black people beating some cracker ass. That's all I'm saying.
All right, well, there you go, man. Y'all tune in to Tapers Politics this Tuesday. I do have an interview tomorrow night with an Israelite, the brother Wanis Israel. I have an interview with him tomorrow night at 6:30. Man Talk Monday will be back on Monday. We got a special edition of Man Talk Monday. So for everybody who's been sending me messages saying all we do is criticize women and all we do we're misogynist and all we push the incels agenda and all this and all that. You tune in Monday because Monday's show is dedicated to the fuck ups that are men. So I know MD gonna be looking forward to that one, and we're gonna have to initiate MD into the Man Talk Monday group if he could show his manosphere ways outwardly. There's one thing to be a closeted manosphere guy, but if you could do it outwardly, then we'll induct you into the group. But you guys, what you got coming up on the thought box? I keep saying thought box.
Yeah. Thursday, 8:30. We'll be talking about the truth of the messaging of Democrats. So we're gonna go in on Democrats
so tomorrow
on Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that is tomorrow night on the MD20 channel. All right, man. I think that's it.
Yeah. Today's the 19th, February 19th. So I just wanted to say rest in peace to my brother Vish. 5 years ago today, we lost him. So I'd like to say R.I.P. to my brother.
I did want to mention something like that. I didn't realize today was the 19th. Unfortunately, some things bring you back together, and it was Vish's death that that brought me and Venkat back together after all these years, because when I found out, we ended up getting in contact with one another. And it kind of leads to what I was talking about earlier this morning and what I was talking about yesterday. Especially yesterday, because I found out Monday, I got called in the office and they were like, yeah, one of your coworkers was found dead. And I'm just like, man, you saying the quiet part out loud, because we internalize everything and as men, we never like express our hurt and things like that. So I just wanted, that's why I started doing these lives in the morning. And I just wanted to specifically reach out to the brothers that if, sometimes it's okay to let that shit out. The hardest thing was Tuesday, when I had my weekly production meeting and all my guys are there hurting after I just told them that, one of their coworkers died, and I still had to be the head coach to get them to still work, to still function. And that shit is not easy. And you had a lot of guys just there, and I doubt we really got any work done yesterday because everybody just was in their own thing grieving, which is fine. Everybody grieves in different ways, but what I would say is everybody should grieve, and don't let anybody tell you that you're less of a man for crying and things like that. It's unfortunate when people die, because you always have the what ifs. Be like, man, what if I would have reached out earlier? What if, because that's funny thing. There was a time I found Venkat, because we hadn't seen each other since we were younger. And I found him on Twitter, like trolling some political guy. And I knew it was him, because when I clicked on the thing and I'm like, oh shit, this is Venkat. And I had saw his mom and his sister in the store one time. And I'm just like, man, I should give him my number. But, we kind of left on bad terms and things like that. And then on Twitter, I started to send him a message, but I never did. And there's always that what if you should have done this, you should have done this. But just check on people, man, because the worst thing is when you have to check on somebody because they're not here anymore, and then you just live a life of, damn, I wish I would have, or what happened. So, again, my condolences go out to Venkat and his family. You guys know his brother has been the the soundtrack of the Straight Talk Society since we came on. For the most part, there's rarely where it'll be a different song, but for the most part, his brother's voice has been the soundtrack of the channel, and you know, and it will continue to be fantastic music. So yeah, my condolences to the family, and shit is just unfortunate because everybody, just when somebody dies that young, you always recognize your own mortality. You know, I'll be 45 in like 2 weeks. And I'm just like, damn, I'm getting old. Every morning I wake up, it's harder to get up out of the bed. Something new is hurting. And it's like, oh man, realizing my mortality. So you guys got anything else?
Nah, that's it,
Nope,
man. I'm
that's
good.
it, man. Yep.
All right, everybody, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for the interview with the brother Juanis Israel. And we'll be back Monday for Man Talk Monday and Tuesday for Tape Fist Politics. Before Venkat and MD, I am Mr. Straight Talk, and we will see you guys on the other side, man. Hey, try loving somebody. It's so much easier, man. And forgive. Peace.
Peace.